second largest banking city in the country, Charlotte, North Carolina knows how to do big business. But when it comes to the business of racing, this is the headquarters. If you are one of the best drivers in the world, there's a good chance you live right here. You like young energy? This guy turned heads last week. You like wily veterans? He's a four-time champ. And if you think Kyle Busch is elusive, wait until you meet his teammate, the Iceman. Tonight, Kimi Räikkönen becomes a trucker, and the world is watching. Räikkönen's NASCAR debut is big news around the world, but there are other drivers here tonight hoping to write some headlines of their own. Tonight, they are racing in their own backyard. The setup, presented by Polaris, is on. Hello everyone, I'm Krista Voda and welcome once again to The Setup. This is a home game for NASCAR and a new neighbor has been invited to the block party all the way from Finland. We have a lot more coming up on Kimi Räikkönen, but there are a lot of other drivers here tonight who we are keeping our eyes on. Right now in the thick of things, Ray Dunlap and Hermie Sadler are in the corral. And Ray, I want to know what is going on where you are standing.
Well, I'll tell you what, Krista, I'm back at row 6 and row 7, and it's a little bit surprising that these particular trucks qualified the way they did. I've got Cole Witt up there in row 6, and over here, Matt Crafton will roll off 14th, and Max Papis 13th. Well, what do these three drivers have in common? They're the only three in this series that have completed all 1,000 laps this season. Hermie?
Well, Ray, when we started this season, we looked at Austin Dillon as a potential championship contender. Well, right now, he's back in 6th in points. They've had fast trucks, but not the finishes they need to get the job done. Tonight at Charlotte, you know, there's a lot of people watching on TV and in the stands that want to see this Black 3 go to victory lane tonight. Ray?
Hermie, over the last couple of weeks, Steve and Rick Germain have sold their interest in the race team to their brother Bob. So now it's a sole proprietorship, and there's going to be some big changes over there. But the real big news this week is we've got to send out a happy 60th birthday to brother Bob. Hermie?
Well, Cole Witt, he has been on the tear so far this year as well. Second place finish at Dover last week. He came to Charlotte Motor Speedway first time ever on this racetrack. He took his time through practice. He qualified 11th, but look for this guy to make his way to the front at the drop of the green flag. Krista?
Thanks, Hermie, and those are just a few of our drivers. We have so many more. Each has a storyline all his own. You know, last week it was a triple header in Dover, and all eyes were on us once again. That's because NASCAR's latest feud found its way into the Truck Series. Here's a look back.
When the trucks unloaded at the Monster Mile, all eyes were on two driver owners.
We have a rivalry, Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick.
After late race drama in the Cup Series the week before,
Kyle Busch turned Harvick around.
This has just started now.
There he comes.
We know Harvick doesn't. He plays rough.
everyone turned their attention to the trucks to see if any of the animosity would carry over. While Busch created a comfortable lead, Harvick was fighting an ill-handling truck.
Look at his hands. Look at him working that steering wheel. He's all over that steering wheel.
Rookie Cole Witt took over the lead with less than 50 to go, prompting some to wonder if we would see history made in Dover.
Could we have our fourth in a row first-time winner at Dover?
A late race pit road speeding penalty separated Busch and Harvick, but with one feud simmering down, another was heating up. Justin Lofton and Justin Marks had been racing hard for a number of laps when Lofton got loose coming out of turn 4. Lofton took the opportunity to voice his displeasure.
Well, obviously, he felt like somebody wasn't playing right.
The drama continued right down to the end.
Oh, Rick goes. Oh, there he goes Parker Kligerman.
It's Nelson Piquet Jr. and Timothy Peters. Caution is out, as well as a checkered flag, and Kyle Busch has done it again.
Cole Witt getting a run for the money there towards the end of the race, and you know he got a good restart there on the last one, just on the bottom side. The shorter way around was the best way around here today, and we were able to get out front and win this thing.
Looking at the points, Brendan Gaughan jumps up into the top 10. Check out Max Papis up 2 more spots this week. Johnny Sauter feels like he is at his best when he has to come from behind. Well, he is currently sitting behind his teammate, Matt Crafton. And you know, Crafton has fond memories of this place. 3 years ago, he scored his first career win here. Now he's back up top leading the points. He's only had one finish outside of the top 10 this season, and that was an 11th. So Ray, any chance Crafton can win again tonight?
Well, I think so, Krista, and they learned a lot earlier today in practice, no question about that, Matt. You have such great numbers here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm going to pose you a question, though. I can either give you a win tonight or a guaranteed championship. Which would you take?
Ooh, that's a question. That's a tough question. I don't know, honestly. Let me think about that one tonight, and I'll get back with you on that one. That's very tough. And that win, I mean, we're striving so hard for it. We came so close. There's so many of those should be, and really want that championship, too. So I want both of them. Can I have both?
You're just greedy, I guess. Let's hear from the pole sitter. He's standing by with Hermie.
Well, thank you, Ray. Timothy Peters, new truck, your 4th career pole and your 100th start. So far, so good. Can you capitalize tonight and get to victory lane?
I think so. You know, over the winter, we really worked hard on our mile-and-a-half program, and it's definitely paying off today. Brand new truck, Butch Hilton and all the guys on this Red Horse Racing Toyota Tundra team do a great job. Got gear wrench and crescent hand tools on board, so hopefully we can do us all a good night, a good favor, and put us in victory lane later on.
Well, Timothy Peters is one of 36 drivers that's trying to get to victory lane here at Charlotte, and we know this is a big race to win for all these truckers. But in the last 6 years, it's been nothing but a Kyle and Ron show.
Here comes Kyle Busch, looking for his first ever win in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
The youngest winner ever.
The 51 of Kyle Rowdy Busch winning at Lowe's. Ron Hornaday will win the Quaker Steak and Lube 200. And he's going to take the Longhorn Chevy Silverado back to victory lane at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
Tonight, Rick, he gets the Charlotte Motor Speedway hat trick, his 3rd career win.
No question about it that Kyle Busch has been the man here at Charlotte. No question about it. You were ridiculously loose in qualifying, too. So how do you rectify that and be good in the race?
Well, you don't wreck, for one. So rectifying, hopefully we're just not wrecking. But, you know, we'll keep working on it. We've been that way the past few years here. So all I can say is our NOS Energy Drink Charged Citrus Toyota is good. You know, it'll be fast. We just have to make sure that we come down on a first pit stop, make some good changes to it, and have Eric give me something that we can wheel up there if we're not already up there, you know. But we'll make some air pressure adjustments right now and see if we can't get it to where it's a little bit easier and more comfortable first beginning couple of laps. But as soon as you get past 4 or 5 laps, it seems like the truck kind of comes to you. So it's just a matter of making it through the beginning.
There's no question with the chartreuse colors on here, Hermie, they're going to see him coming.
Well, you're right. Ron Hornaday, the other part of that equation, 2 wins at this racetrack. Qualified not quite where you wanted to, I'm sure, but a lot of people have been struggling today. What have you guys worked on, and do you have enough to get it done?
Well, I mean, we worked on everything, so we put the truck right back to when it loaded because it was fast unloading, so hopefully the track comes to us. So just got to thank Utz and everybody, Utz Potato Chips. I mean, they've been on board for 2 weeks now, and we're not showing them a good showing, so hopefully tonight's the night we can do it.
Well, it's going to be fun to watch Ron Hornaday come from the middle of the pack to the front in his 33 truck. Krista?
Thanks, Herbie. Yeah, Hornaday has won here twice in 2007 and 2009. The only driver with more Truck Series wins at Charlotte, yep, you guessed it, Kyle Busch with 3. So who is your racing hero? Perhaps someone we're giving a thumbs up to after last weekend. Earlier in the show, I mentioned Pappas. Well, a hard-fought 13th place finish at Dover keeps Max Pappas on the uphill swing. He was one of the first guys to go visit with Raikkonen this morning. James Buescher is still looking for his first NASCAR win. He's getting close, and he will go from here to Iowa. Brendan Gaughan has been playing the worst poker hand in history. Tons of bad luck. His best finish of the year, though, certainly helping his mojo. And Cole Witt nearly pulled off the David and Goliath, almost beating Kyle Busch last week. Kyle gave Witt some praise. Could it be Cole Witt's turn tonight? More from the Charlotte Motor Speedway still to come. The setup is presented by Polaris, the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicles, now at your local dealer. And brought to you in part by Camping World. Visit Camping World RV Sales for the largest selection of motorhomes. Ask about our low price guarantee. Today is NASCAR Day, an annual charitable celebration, and one of the NASCAR Day events was the Car Wash for Kids. This one is here in Concord, North Carolina, but 42 locations nationwide, including 15 racetracks, served as a venue today. All proceeds from the various NASCAR Day activities go to the NASCAR Foundation and local children's charities. It's too late to get a clean car, but it's not too late to donate to the cause. Since the first NASCAR Day in 2004, more than $8 million has been raised. For more information, go to NASCAR.com/unites. Such a big weekend here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Of course, it all culminates tomorrow when one NASCAR Sprint Cup Series driver will race for $1 million. Welcome back. You know, Kimi Räikkönen already has $1 million. 51 times over. In 2007, he was ranked as the richest driver in all of motorsports. And tonight, he turns to NASCAR. Kimi Räikkönen won the Formula One World Championship in 2007, driving for Ferrari. He collected 18 wins over the course of his F1 career. The 31-year-old from Finland left Formula One after the 2009 season and has been competing in the World Rally Championship. Kimi, who in 2008 was actually featured on his own postage stamp in Finland, handpicked Charlotte Motor Speedway for his first NASCAR race. Räikkönen joins Mario Andretti, Jimmy Clark, and Jacques Villeneuve as the only Formula One champions to ever make the transition to NASCAR. And Ray, I believe, is standing by with him.
Absolutely, Kristen. It's been amazing to see all of the press that has been here this weekend to cover Kimi Räikkönen's NASCAR debut. I've been practicing my Finnish, so let me try this. Hauska tavata.
It's okay. I mean, it's nice to be here. It's something completely new again for me, but I mean, it's not easy to come and not really knowing at all what will happen this weekend, but we're going to learn. So soon we get in the racing and see how it is.
Krista, what's amazing is just about anything he's ever sat behind, he has been very, very fast. So it'll be fun to watch him work his way through the pack tonight here at Charlotte.
And we've already seen how much exposure he is bringing so many media members in the NASCAR Truck Series garage just to watch him climb in to the truck today. He actually held a press conference and it was streamed live in Europe this morning. Rick Allen, Phil Parsons, and Michael Waltrip are standing by upstairs. Now, I'm not going to ask you guys to translate anything in Kimi's native language of Finnish, but we do know that his presence here is certainly big.
Kiitos, Krista.
I don't know what that means.
It means thank you, actually.
Okay.
I've been working on my Finnish as well.
Oh, great.
But that'll be the end of it for tonight's broadcast. Phil, I'd like to ask you, though, why would you choose Charlotte Motor Speedway for your first ever NASCAR race?
Well, this is one of the premier tracks in all of NASCAR. Kimi Räikkönen's been scheduled to do this for a few weeks now. He had a couple good tests, and then, man, has this been an eventful day for him.
It has.
When he first got on the racetrack, his truck was really, really loose. As a matter of fact, every time he's been on the racetrack, his truck is really loose. This is a good example right here. Great car control, obviously, because of his rally racing experience. That's big-time sideways right there. And then he bounces off the wall a little bit later. There's Rick Wren, acting crew chief here, talking to him. There's his tutor right there, Kyle Busch, who's actually 6 years or 5 years younger than Kimi. But there he is, bouncing off the wall in practice. They got the truck a little bit better after that, and he's just here to learn. And Michael, what a place to come for your first ever NASCAR start.
Yeah, those sideways slides up in the bank turns at Charlotte Motor Speedway, they were done at about 160 miles an hour, and he hung on to it. The speed here is the main story. These pickup trucks are going to be running over 180 miles an hour when they dive into these corners here. I love the action, I love the speed, and I love the fact that a world champion is going to get up in the middle of all this and see how he can play.
And you at home have a front row seat. And Krista, by the way, we have enough problems with English, so we're going to stick with that for the broadcast tonight.
That's probably a very good idea. It was a nice effort, though. Thanks a lot, guys. And we're certainly looking forward to this one. You know, Kimi Räikkönen is not the only big name in our field. Ricky Carmichael is sort of the Michael Jordan in the motocross world. And when he was racing on two wheels, he actually broke his collarbone, his shoulder, tore his ACL, and had a bone chip in his wrist. When you think of all that and you look at what happened to him last week and the fact he didn't break anything, this is pretty unbelievable.
Big hit by Ricky Carmichael, Ray. Big hit by Carmichael into the wall. Destroyed the front end of that truck.
I'll tell you, a shot like that's going to ring your bell.
And you see him climbing out of that truck.
He's in between two trucks, and he does get sideways and then overcorrects it. Man, did that truck hit the wall hard. Here's Todd. He's right behind. You see Ricky get sideways and then overcorrects.
I haven't had a lick like that in a while. It reminds me of my motocross days that I'd like to forget, actually.
Well, Ricky, I know you want to make a different kind of highlight tonight by going to victory lane, but it's very important when situations like that happen for you as a driver to come in and talk about what happened and the fact that you were able to walk away and race 1 week later. We're glad to see you back.
Well, thank you. And, you know, it looked a lot worse than it really was. I've definitely taken harder licks than that. But it just blows my mind how safe these things are, and thankful for that and the procedures and precautions that NASCAR go through. I got to thank Monster Energy for their support and always sticking behind me. And when I do things, I do it big. And those are the things I need to stay away from. But we're going to get it. Just it's tough trying to learn at this level. You know what I mean? It's a high level of racing. You're racing great guys, but so I didn't get to go through the late model stuff of tearing stuff up like the other guys did. But I'm happy to be in this position, and we've ran strong, and there's no reason I can't do it here. And you know, the 1.5 miles are normally a little bit better for me, so looking forward to it.
And Crystal, one thing you can tell about Ricky Carmichael, always a great attitude, and all the guys on his team really stick behind him because he thinks the next race is going to be the one that takes him to victory lane.
Hermie, I love his attitude, and I mentioned earlier that his teammate James Busher is doing double duty. Well, so is Austin Dillon. Dillon, who was quickest in truck practice, will race tonight in North Carolina and again Sunday in Iowa. The garage has been a busy place today, but the action is about to spill out onto the track. When it does, we will be ready. More to come on the setup here on Speed. Stick around. We're just getting warmed up in Charlotte. The setup is presented by Polaris, the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicles, now at your local dealer. Brought to you in part by Dollar General. To get all of your favorite brands for race day, visit Dollar General. Save time, save money every day. And by CreditReport.com. See your credit score in seconds. CreditReport.com.
Nelson Piquet Jr. has been competitive this entire race. This is his best race by far. Look who's leading. That's our leader right there.
In front of this field, that's the 20 of Johanna Long.
Miguel Paludo, when he went to Daytona, he got a 4th place finish.
This one right here is what everyone has had their eyes on. Joey Coulter. Cole Witt, the young man in just his 4th start, will start on the pole tonight.
Cole Witt's got a fast truck.
The rookie battle is really tight. Cole Witt is leading the charge with Joey Coulter breathing down his neck. We have several legitimate contenders in this year's class, and with the way the points break down this year, you cannot count any of these guys out. Welcome back. We've already told you how this is a home game for many of the drivers, but when you were born just up the road in Mooresville, also known as Race City, USA, this race and this trophy take on special meaning. Clay Rogers walked out of Daytona to start the season as our points leader. His good buddy Trevor Bayne walked out the Daytona 500 champion. Now Bayne is a household name while Clay Rogers still fights for exposure.
When I was 8 years old, I knew I was going to be a Cup driver. The problem is all the obstacles that you have to overcome and all the growing up that you have to do throughout the sport. And sometimes you zig when you should have zagged.
Early on, it seemed like there was nothing that could stop Clay Rogers from realizing his Cup dream. After winning go-kart and Legacy championships, Rogers made the jump to the Busch Series, splitting time with Matt Kenseth for the 2001 season.
I was 20 years old in 2001 and thought I had it all figured out. Not quite.
Crichton was really young at the time, and I wish like crazy that would have been 5 years later. If he could do all that all over again, he would be right here in this garage racing against Jimmy Johnson and all the best of them.
Rogers only had 9 starts in the 17 car before the ride was over. With no other opportunities in NASCAR's top series, he went back to Pro Cup racing.
But when I came in at 20 years old driving 17 car, I was told by several people that I was too young. And then all of a sudden the game changed, and then everybody went from wanting veteran drivers to wanting 18-year-old drivers. So I was kind of caught in the middle there, which was a huge slap in the face at the time. It seemed pretty frustrating and a little bit like a step back, but looking back on it now, it was definitely the right move for me to go back, race short tracks, get more confidence, win some championships.
Rogers did just that, winning 4 Pro Cup titles in 7 years. Despite all the short track success, a full-time NASCAR ride never materialized.
It seemed like the dream was starting to trail away a little bit. You know, when you win championships in a stock car on a radial tire and you don't get opportunities to move up, then you start to ask yourself, who's watching?
When he was winning those championships, there were so many good guys that were getting shots to run nationwide and Cup and trucks and things like that. So I always thought Clay was going to be the next guy, and if he wasn't going to be, I didn't know why, because, you know, he's a great driver and really talented.
I've been done beating myself up for quite a few years now over missed opportunities or opportunities that I felt like that I should have had and somebody else got. So over the last 4 or 5 years, all I've focused on is going to the racetrack every weekend and win races and hoping somebody notices.
Rogers finally got a solid chance to prove himself this February when he raced at Daytona in the 92 truck for RBR Motorsports.
It fulfilled a dream, a lifelong dream of mine, to race at Daytona.
Look at Clay Rogers come up there. Clay ends up finishing up in the 3rd spot.
Definitely came back into Daytona this year with a lot of personal pride in going out and competing up front and you know, just showing the rest of the racers what this racer can do.
He was walking out of the garage, and I stopped him like, dude, you're the man. Like, who would have thought, you know, you'd finish like that at Daytona? And he was like, I know, it's crazy. So hopefully we'll get to run more races, and now they've been doing well and running good in the points.
Although Rogers is top 10 in points, his truck isn't guaranteed to run a full season. But the 30-year-old hasn't waited this long to give up now.
It could possibly be the last shot, but if I've learned anything over the last 4 or 5 years, it's been to never say never. I knew I was going to be a Cup driver when I was 8 years old. When I was 18 years old, I was pretty sure. When I was 28, I thought there was no way, and then here we are at 30, and there's definitely a possibility. There were times when I thought to myself I'd passed my prime. You know, I'm too old now, but luckily for me, I've got the opportunity I've got and trying to make the most out of it.
Clay Rogers has won some big races at Rockingham. He's won the Snowball Derby, but there's some pressure on you tonight because every time your daughter Ava comes, you go to victory lane. Can you do it tonight in Charlotte?
Well, we're going to give it our best shot. We're definitely not starting anywhere remotely close to where we wanted to be tonight, but we worked really hard on the truck during practice, and hopefully with the weather cooling off here, the track will kind of come to us a little bit. And we're going to do what we've done all year and race smart and save the truck for the end and see if we can't come up with a good top 10 finish.
All right, we wish you good luck. Chris, after that good run in Daytona, their average finish has been around 15th, hoping to move forward from that tonight.
His story is such a good one. We love watching Clay Rogers race. Who else should you keep your eye on? Hey, we haven't mentioned the guy standing right over my shoulder. Clint Boyer is in the number 2 truck for Kevin Harvick. There's the boss standing by talking to him, and he starts second. It's his second truck start this year, but his first truck start here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. He should be a good one. Hey, we're not done getting you set up yet. Stick around. Speed's blowout coverage of All-Star Weekend. It all happens tomorrow right here. One driver is going to walk out with $1 million. And we have a million reasons to watch tonight. Cup stars Busch and Boyer are here. International drivers Pappas, Piquet, and now Raikkonen. It all starts now.
They say living life on the road can be grueling. For NASCAR teams, most of the year is spent traveling from race to race, away from their families, eating their meals in random restaurants, sleeping on hard hotel beds. But once a year, they get to bring their jobs home. Charlotte, North Carolina. Once a year, the teams will get to sit down for a family dinner. Once a year, they will be able to sleep in their own beds. Once a year, they need to up their game to show their friends and family what they're capable of. If they succeed, they can show them the way to victory lane.
Friday night truck racing from a racetrack most teams call home. Welcome to the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series North Carolina Education Lottery 200 presented on Speed by Yamaha. 36 trucks will take to the beast of the Southeast, and Charlotte Motor Speedway has shown all day that it will be a formidable challenge for all competitors. Not just the 11 drivers that are making their first Charlotte truck race start. One of those drivers will be making his first ever start in NASCAR, and that is 2007 Formula One World Champion Kimi Raikkonen. The Iceman brings 18 Formula One wins with him to his NASCAR debut, but his expectations might not be as lofty tonight after having his hands full all day trying to keep his truck pointed in the right direction. It's time to go full speed ahead with tonight's show. And with that, we go trackside for our invocation and national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats as the Air Force ROTC Detachment 592 from the University of North Carolina at Charlotte presents our nation's colors. And now, please join us in a moment of silence as we remember the life of Zara Baker. Now remain standing as Monty Self of Motor Racing Outreach offers tonight's invocation.
Father, we thank you for the privilege and the freedoms to gather here tonight. We thank you for the beautiful weather. Father, we pray and ask a special blessing to all the men and women who serve our great country here and around the world, protecting those freedoms. Lord, we pray for all the police officers, the firemen, and public servants who keep us safe here in America. And Father, again, for all of us gathered here tonight, we pray that you would keep us safe. And Father, give us the strength to honor you and all we say and do. In Christ's name, amen.
In respect to our nation and in honor of our military servicemen and women, please place your right hand over your heart as Phi Mu Alpha from Lander University performs our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Let's hear it for Phi Mu Alpha for their performance of our national anthem.
And the team's giving their last words of encouragement to their driver before he climbs into the race truck. 36 trucks about to come to life here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. A lot of eyes in the grandstands watching Kyle Busch. Can he make it 3 wins in a row in the Camping World Truck Series? And how about the eyes around the world watching Kimi Räikkönen as he takes on NASCAR? Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway for the North Carolina Education Lottery 200 presented on Speed by Yamaha. For tonight's storylines, let's go back to Krista Boda.
Thanks, Rick. You know, the All-Star race is tomorrow, but we have our own All-Stars tonight. So why watch this race? The same reason fans in Sweden, Finland, and all of Europe are watching the NASCAR debut of the Iceman, Kimi Räikkönen. Another storyline from a Formula One champion to our defending series champion. No one needs a good run like Todd Bodine. Only one top 10 this year, but half of our races remaining on the schedule are mile and a halves, and that's his specialty, just like the one tonight. And what about Kyle Rowdy versus Ron Hornaday? They have dominated this track, winning 5 of the last 6. So my question for you gentlemen upstairs, can anyone dethrone one of those guys? It just might be one of Hornaday's teammates, Clint Boyer, in that 2 truck, starting on the front row.
I think that's the question everyone's asking right now, Krista. Welcome once again, Rick Allen, Phil Parsons, Michael Waltrip with you. Now, it is another one-day show for the Camping World Truck Series. What have they faced today?
Well, they started out at 9 o'clock this morning. Relatively cool, good track conditions, a lot of grip, and then it got warmer. And warmer and warmer and warmer, and we saw all sorts of trucks have problems getting a hold of the racetrack. The trucks were really, really loose. Talked to a lot of crew chiefs in the garage area, and they said, we're out of adjustments. We can't tighten the trucks up anymore. And Michael, now it's going to be nighttime, and the conditions are be completely different.
Well, I used to, when it got dark, it tightened up and you just went faster. Nowadays, we don't know what to expect. Sometimes when the sun goes down, the track actually gets looser yet. These are some really concerned crew chiefs and drivers down in the garage area. It's going to be fun to watch from up here.
Yeah, almost to a man all day. Every driver has been talking about how loose their trucks have been. So we'll find out who has figured out the right setup for the race tonight. And to get it underway, let's get the engines fired. We go to the command.
It's time for the most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome Stan Pettit.
Drivers, start your engines!
36 trucks have come to life, getting ready to take on the Beast of the Southeast. That's right, a 1.5-mile racetrack, the first of 10 that we will see this season. NASCAR Camping World Truck Series is presented on speed by Yamaha. Yamaha is the first name in motorsports. Presented in part by the North Carolina Education Lottery. By Camping World. Visit Camping World RV sales for the largest selection of motorhomes. Ask about our low price guarantee. And by Dollar General. To get your favorite brands for race day, visit Dollar General. Save time, save money every day. What a gorgeous night for racing. 77 degrees, partly cloudy. And again, just a breath of wind here in Concord, North Carolina at Charlotte Motor Speedway as we see the trucks rolling off of pit road and onto the racetrack. Our starting lineup will roll across the top of your screen. Timothy Peters grabs his his fourth pole of his career. And we'll take a look at the numbers in our Yamaha track description and race analysis.
What a great racetrack. This racetrack built in 1960. You can see 1.5 miles, but that doesn't totally tell the story. This is a challenging racetrack.
Yeah, because of all the speed we have. I talked earlier, 175, 180 miles an hour down in the corners. You've got to leave your foot on the gas so much, Phil. If your truck gets a little bit loose, you're wide open when it happens. Really tough to react to.
And remember, so much downforce in these trucks, Michael. They're faster through the center of the corner than a Sprint Cup car is.
And another difficult thing about this track is look how flat the front straightaway is. Getting a good restart, getting all that power to the ground on these restarts could be a key as the race winds down at the end.
Again, here in the Camping World Truck Series, we like to shine a spotlight on a few different drivers. Tonight, an international flair. We have 2 drivers from Brazil, a driver from Italy, and one from Finland. Ray, can you start us off?
I will, Rick. Let's go to Brazil because a lot of people are thinking that either Ron Hornaday or Clint Boyer might win tonight. Well, there's another KHI driver that I think you should watch out for, and that's Nelson Piquet Jr. He had his career best finish of 2nd at Nashville, and he's driving that very same truck here tonight. But the really important stat is this is just the 2nd track this season that we've come to that he has previous experience on. I think Nelson Piquet may just be a sleeper tonight in the international field. Hermie?
Well, Ray, Max Pappas has quietly had the most consistent season of all the trucks out of the Germain Racing stable. He is 7th in points. This is his first Truck Series start at this racetrack. He's coming off a 13th place finish at Dover. He also has a top 10 early this year at Martinsville. Max Pappas is very confident. Look for him to maybe make a run towards the top 10 and continue his very consistent season he's had so far. Phil?
Hermie, eyes all over the world are on 31-year-old Kimi Räikkönen from Espoo, Finland. He got a start in go-karts before moving into open-wheel cars. He made the move to Formula One in 2001. He moved to the Ferrari team in 2007 and won the World Championship. He won a total of 18 F1 races before leaving at the end of the 2009 season for the World Rally Championship, where he continues to compete. He's hoping to do more NASCAR races after tonight, and he will start 31st in his perky, jerky Toyota, Mikey.
Let's go back to Brazil, Phil. Look at 27-year-old Miguel Paludo. To say Miguel's a quick learner would be a huge understatement. In 2009, he won his 2nd straight sports car title in his native Brazil and decided it was time to come to NASCAR. In his debut at Bristol, he top 10'd it. Went to Daytona this past February, top 5. He gets it for sure. He's going to roll off in his Stemco Durline Red Horse Toyota from the 12th position.
We've got a few onboard cameras that we'll be able to ride along with in tonight's race. One of those being carried by Kimi Räikkönen. So he will have his hands full as he did earlier in practice and qualifying. We'll see how he handles that starting in the 31st position.
We're also going to ride along with the Toyota on board, and the 18 truck of Kyle Busch. Nash Citrus is on board that truck. He's going to try to make it 4 wins here at Charlotte in the Camping World Truck Series.
How do you like this view? Clint Boyer up on the front row in the Funai fun and innovative onboard camera in his Chevrolet truck. He starts up front and look for him to stay there.
And right next to him will be Timothy Peters carrying the Toyota onboard. He has his 4th career pole in the Camping World Truck Series and looking for his 3rd win. He's had some pretty impressive ones. Martinsville and Daytona, he's been to victory lane. Charlotte would be a big notch on his belt.
We know how to pick cameras, don't we? We got them right on the front row.
All right, let's find out what the winning ingredients are in our Walmart recipe for success. Ray.
Well, Rick, I think the winning ingredient is going to be NOS Energy Drink, because I'm going to pick Kyle Busch to go to victory lane tonight here at Charlotte. Not much of a far reach because he's been very, very good at this track. How about in the last 10 races we've run in this series, KBM has won 7 of them. But it doesn't really matter which truck Kyle comes in. He can win in any of the different chassis. And tonight he has a brand new one, and I think he'll be the man to beat. Hermie?
Well, if he does win, Ray, it'll have to be with the right set of Goodyear tires at the end of this race. Tonight, we talked about guys all day and girls fighting a loose condition on this racetrack. One thing a crew chief can do is decide to put a scuff tire on the truck, as you see right here. This tire has already been on the racetrack. Stickers, right here, we'll talk about sticker tires. A scuff tire sometimes will tighten these trucks up so they better grip the racetrack. It'll be interesting to watch tonight who picks scuffs, who picks stickers, and if it makes a difference in who goes to victory lane.
Thanks, guys. We'll find out if that ends up being the recipe for success. Our mile-and-a-half track facts. Well, this is the first of 10 mile-and-a-half races that we'll have this season.
Yeah, we talked about earlier, Crystal talked about this is the place for Todd Bodine to get his season turned around. So good on mile-and-a-half racetracks. 12 wins so far, as well as Kyle Busch with 12 wins on mile-and-a-half tracks.
I bet he's glad the mile-and-a-half tracks are finally starting. He's got 10 of them. It's a strong suit. He's not doing a very good job defending his title. No one's ever been able to do that in the Truck Series, so Todd needs to get on track here tonight. It's a big night for Todd Bodine.
And remember, this is the first of 4 in a row mile-and-a-half racetracks.
Todd Bodine starts in the 9th position. Randy Kaiser, the pace car driver, pulls onto pit road. That leaves the field in the hands of Timothy Peters. Clint Boyers, who is outside, making up row number 1, coming through the quad oval. Green flag in the air. We're underway at Charlotte.
Boy, they got jacked up about the 5th row back.
Saw the 4 of Ricky Carmichael move out of position to avoid contact. And early on, James Busher in the 31 making a run on the high side.
Side by side for the lead. Boyer has a bit of an edge on the outside.
But Boyer takes the lead as they go through 3 and 4. Timothy Peters on the bottom of the racetrack. James Busher just on his outside, fighting for that 2nd spot.
You know, we talked about all the trouble these guys had getting a hold to the track earlier today. They were running by themselves having trouble. Now they've got trucks side by side. This is really challenging right now here early in the going. I'll be surprised if somebody doesn't lose their truck. This is the hardest part of the race.
Just saw Brad Sweet in that Great Clips 32 Chevy Silverado chase it up the racetrack, trying to hang on, and now he's dropping back as his momentum is gone.
The problem is there are trucks up there. You know, most of these trucks have run by themselves all day in practice. Now we have all sorts of trucks all over the racetrack.
2 wide through the quad oval once again. Matt Crafton in the 88 on the outside, trying to get by Brad Sweet.
Good run by Nelson Piquet Jr. from the high side, coming off of turn number 4 to get by Brad Sweet.
Busher going for the lead on the outside. Clint Boyer in the 2 falls to 2nd now as James Busher takes over the point position.
See how loose this truck gets with Clint Boyer stuck up by his tailgate.
Did you see all those guys in those trucks? You could see all 3 of the first 3 trucks really having to drive the heck out of those things. I think Kimmy got in the wall, guys.
Kimmy got in the wall once again. We saw him scrape the wall earlier in practice. Look at him trying to catch that truck.
He got loose, had to chase it up the hill, and ran out of room. Made some contact. Watch this from his onboard camera. Let's watch and listen.
Happens quickly, but I don't think that was enough to mess up his whole night, Phil. He can get to pit row. They maybe pull out on that right front. It doesn't even look like the right front fender's beat in very badly, so he's still learning. He's still okay. We can still get some good laps here and try to figure this deal out. Check out this battle for the top 5 trucks, all glued together. Kyle Busch looks fast. He's looking on the inside of Austin Dillon. Couldn't make it work there.
Austin Dillon running a little higher line now through 3 and 4. Brings it back down in front of Kyle Busch. Again, Busch running in the 5th spot. Out front is James Buescher, Clinton Bowyer, Timothy Peters, Austin Dillon, and Kyle Busch, your top 5. James Buescher's best career finish, 2nd, New Hampshire last year. Has shown promise at virtually every racetrack he goes to.
We know he's a great qualifier, has had some great finishes. Hasn't quite put it together yet for that first win, but tonight may be the night.
Well, he was close up in New Hampshire, though, wasn't he?
Sure was.
Really battling for that victory late in the going.
We talk about this racetrack. Michael, several of these trucks have already run faster than what the pole was in qualifying.
And that's why it's so confusing for the teams. They know the speeds are going to pick up, so they got to adjust their trucks for that. But then they're going to throw qualifying right in the middle of all of it, and you've got to make a good lap there.
Set him up for that good runoff here. You're way better than everybody else too. Safari's bottling you up.
It's a relatively short race, so starting up front's important. So these teams had to focus a little bit on qualifying.
200 miles, 134 laps, of which were on lap 7.
Talked to Austin Dillon just before we got underway as we continue to watch him running 4th, running the high side of the racetrack. He said he thought he had a really, really good truck. Had a great run with a top 5 finish last week at Dover, looking to follow it up here.
The thing I like about Charlotte Motor Speedway, you see already guys can run the bottom of the racetrack, guys run in the middle, guys are even run up high. We got problems on the racetrack. Bodine into the wall.
Boy, the 1.5 mile magic is not going to work out for Todd Bodine.
That's us, guys. Left front damage.
A lot of damage to that Germain Toyota.
Todd Bodine was running 13th when he came off the turn and into the inside wall. And big damage to the left front of that truck.
Take it to the garage.
That was Mike Hellman Jr., crew chief.
Stop here, let me look at it. Get ready to go to the garage.
Yeah, we definitely are going to the garage with this baby. He hit really hard.
It's not going to be number 13 for Todd Bodine, 1.5 miles.
I can't believe the start of the season this team has had.
Wow. Let's take a look at what happened here. See him right? He's right there running in the middle of the racetrack. Just got loose. We talk about these trucks being so loose. He got it down out of traffic, but unfortunately, pretty significant contact with the inside safer barrier.
What a surprising start for Todd Bodine in the 2011 season as he's trying to defend his title. He has only 1 finish better than 14th this year.
No one would have predicted that.
You just wonder this far into the season with those poor finishes, is this championship's over?
I think
for
it
2011.
Is. I think tonight had to be a big night for this team. They've been struggling, and now they're into the wall on a 1.5 mile track.
Crew looking at it on pit road, trying to determine if they can go back out on the racetrack or have to make that hard left turn into the garage. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Charlotte. Work continues on this Germain.com Toyota Tundra of Todd Bodine. They are putting bare bond on the left front. They've had to remove a good bit of the front grille and the left side of the spoiler. They're hoping to get him back out without having to go to the garage to do any more work, but Todd Bodine already 2 laps down early on here tonight. Hermie?
Yeah, Ray, James Buescher qualified 5th. He's already up to the front position, a little bit free on the racetrack. He stayed on the track, but real quickly, Max Pappas and Justin Lofton both pitted. The 9 truck got a track bar adjustment and some Sunoco fuel. Rick?
Thanks, Hermie. Field coming back through the quad oval. James Buescher chooses the outside line. Green flag back in the air.
I think you're already seeing some of that wheel spin I told you about, Phil, early in the going here. Austin Dillon didn't get the start he wanted. We saw Todd spin his on the start. It's really difficult to get going.
Especially with these hot tires, with all these trucks staying on the racetrack.
We saw James Buescher make the pass on the outside of Clint Bowyer. He chooses the outside line for the restart and still battling with Bowyer for the lead. Bowyer has the edge now as he goes through 3 and 4.
How about that green truck? A little bit different color for Kyle Busch. He's on the inside of Buescher now trying to, oh, somebody bounces off the fence.
Coming out of turn 4, it is slippery. Buescher drops back to 2nd. Kyle Busch is 3rd. Timothy Peters 4th. Austin Dillon 5th.
Kyle Busch gets a good run through the center of the corner. Buescher hangs tough on the outside.
He's getting a little bit of drafting help from Timothy Peters. Timothy pushing Buescher along. That's making his truck faster on the straightaway, and he does clear Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch trying to hug that white line as they come out onto the quad oval once again. Timothy Peters with a great run, has the momentum, goes by Kyle Busch, takes over that third spot.
I'm liking that high side up off of 4 so far, Mikey.
I just love the fact that we're at a track again this week where these guys and girls have all kinds of options. They can run high, they can run low, anything will work. Just take your truck where it handles the best and you can get grip there.
Lining up now, Jason White, the 23 on the inside of that 88 of Matt Crafton. Those two are side by side. Here comes Kimi Räikkönen in the 15, moving by TJ Bell in the 50.
Good corner for Kimi there.
I believe somebody's figuring this thing out. Johanna Long just in front of him in the 20.
I think he's going to learn that running into the wall in NASCAR is not a bad thing.
Still out front, Clint Boyer in the 2. Right behind him, James Buescher in the 31.
Here comes Peters right up to join that battle.
And there's Kyle Busch, that NOS energy drink, number 18. Kimi Räikkönen loose, chasing that truck up the racetrack.
Hold on, come on, keep digging. Good job. Clear all around. All clear, all clear.
Well, not all clear.
Relatively clear.
That's a situation again, Phil. We saw it earlier in practice today. He gets that truck in a really bad shape, but he's able to save it and drive through it. And that means he can check another learning experience off. He has never felt aero loose before in a truck. He'd never had that sensation, and that's what happened right there. She took the air off of him. He about wrecked, but he kept from hitting her, and he kept the truck going straight.
That was the worst possible scenario. He's fighting a loose truck anyway, and when you get down on the inside of another vehicle, it just compounds the situation.
Again, another battle for the lead. Here comes James Buescher. He looks to the inside this time of Clint Boyer. And Buescher will take the lead away from Boyer.
Looks like Clint might have had a challenging 1 and 2 down there at the other, and now he's going to fight back to the inside of him, and Clint Boyer will lead this lap.
Clint Boyer takes a spot back as they cross the stripe. Here comes James Buescher on the outside, trying to keep the momentum up in his Exide number 31.
Boy, and he certainly does. What a great corner that time for James Buescher.
Clears Clint Boyer by 2 truck lengths now as they lock it into turn number 3.
Now Kyle Busch is going to run that outside line and see if he can do something with Timothy Peters. Not able to do it on that end of the racetrack. Let's see what happens when he gets down to 1 and 2.
You know, Kyle Busch currently running in the 4th spot. Before the caution came out, he was not happy at all with the handling of his truck, and this is what he had to say over the radio.
This is pathetic. Like, they shouldn't drive away from me like this.
Well, I think everybody is struggling to some degree, certainly with this racetrack.
Kyle's moved uphill now. Look at the input he's putting in that steering wheel. He's moved up on the high side trying to clear these guys. Obviously, he's as fast as a leader. He's running right there with them. On the other side of the screen, you see Kimi down to the bottom again, making a move on the inside of Justin Lofton.
I'm telling you, he is making some moves and passing some trucks.
Looking pretty impressive. Ray.
When Kyle Busch just came on the radio a moment ago, he said, if I get up tight on the rear end of another truck, it feels like I'm riding.
Hornaday goes sideways. Hornaday around on the racetrack. It doesn't look like he's going to make any contact with the walls or other trucks. So just a spin for Ron Hornaday.
We're all good. We didn't hit nothing, Jeff.
He was running in the 9th spot.
Make sure we don't blow a fender or something off of it here.
That's the kind of thing that helps you win a championship right there. You go for a long spin down the back straightaway at Charlotte and don't hit anything, that's a major break.
We saw Todd Bodine spin coming up of turn number 2 and made contact with an inside wall. Fortunately for Ron Hornaday, no contact. You see him taking it very, very easy around so he doesn't tear up any fenders. See him right on bottom of the racetrack underneath Brad Sweet.
It slides up, and just to stay off of Brad Sweet, he had to cut it to the left, and it just wouldn't hold. Exactly what Räikkönen went through down here in turn 4. Ron just didn't get away with it. Well, he did get away with it, but he spun doing so.
What a nice job by Matt Crafton. Watch Matt Crafton in that bright yellow number 88.
Look how far Ron wobbles before he finally goes around.
I mean, Matt has to hit him here, right? He has to hit him.
How about Miguel Paludo? Way down to the bottom of the racetrack, avoids him underneath.
Now, we talked about before the race track conditions and how tough this place is. Todd Bodine, our defending champion, spins and crashes.
One of the best on mile and a half track.
4-time champion.
Yeah.
Ron Hornaday, one of only 2 guys that have won here more than once. He spins around. Kimmy's out there saying, what's wrong with these silly trucks? I can't get it to go straight. Well, he's got to feel a lot better when he knows that people that know what they're doing in this deal are losing control.
On to pit road come our lead trucks.
James Busher stays out.
They're led on pit road by the 2 of Clint Boyer. Herming.
Yeah, the 60th Cole Witt's coming to pit road. His truck has been very loose so far in this run. They're going to do an air pressure adjustment in Sunoco fuel. Ray?
Down on my end, Clint Boyer said, I'd like to have a track bar adjustment and maybe even go with a spring rubber, but they said, no, let's do 2 tires. He will get out right in front of the 66. Man, they almost had contact between he and Justin Marks, but a 2-tire stop for the Always Bargain Barn Chevy.
A lot of strategy here early in the going, guys. 2 tires. A couple of our leaders, James Busher and Timothy Peters, stayed out. Watch this move here. Boyer takes a shot at getting out of the pit right in front of Justin Marks. Watch how close this is.
A good heads-up move by Justin Marks to get stopped and let Clint Boyer get by.
KHI co-owner Kevin Harvick on top of the pit box watching his drive with Clint Boyer, pilot that number 2. Stay with us. Tonight, racing's brightest stars come out for the biggest party in racing. Tune in as Jamie McMurray and Casey Kane stop by a special all-star edition of NASCAR Trackside. That's tonight, 11 Eastern, only on Speed, the Motorsports Authority. The Aaron's Lucky Dog goes to the 29 of Parker Kligerman. He'll get a lap back. And now let's go to Herming.
Thank you, Rick. And the reason he got a lap down is he pitted under green. The lap before Ron Hornaday spun to bring it the caution, they had a right rear tire going down, so they came in, put 2 right side tires on. Good break for him. He gets his lap back. And on the note on the 33 truck of Ron Hornaday, he obviously came in, got tires, had to go to the tail end of the longest line anyway, so he came back in again last time by, topped off with Sunoco fuel.
Again, Ron Hornaday went around most recently, bringing out our most recent caution. Field all in line behind James Busher and Timothy Peters as the green flag comes back out. James Busher on the outside, Timothy Peters on the inside, battling for the top spot. Smoker behind him.
I think there was contact there.
That's Miguel Paludo.
Miguel Paludo. Looks as though he might have just blown the motor.
They're still coming. They're still coming. Okay, go to the bottom. Get on the apron. Go to the bottom. Get on the apron. Get on the apron. All right, tell us.
We stay green. The battle continues up front. Timothy Peters on the bottom of the racetrack.
Caution's out, back it down tight, back her down.
Now the caution comes out. It is the 3rd caution of the night, this time for fluid on the racetrack.
Yeah, good call, I think. It looked like there may have been something coming from Miguel's truck. You see the right rear tire, how shiny it is. That means there's obviously some fluid, probably oil.
You see the smoke coming out of the tailpipes there. That's an indication of a valve breaking, Phil, and you can do that if you miss a shift or have
the motor running right now, Miguel? Under 2,000 RPM.
Yeah, that's going to be terminal right there.
Nurse it back here best you can. You got oil pressure? 220.
That's a lot.
That's oil temperature.
Yeah.
Jerry Cook was asking if he had oil pressure, but that was the oil temperature, 220 degrees.
So our 3rd caution has come out here at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the North Carolina Education Lottery 200, presented on Speed by Yamaha. Stay with us.
It's Camping World's Destination Recreation.
If you happen to miss a recent episode of Celebrity Apprentice, you may not have seen Marcus Lemonis, who is Camping World's CEO, showing off this beautiful unit beside me. This is the 2011 Winnebago Itasca Ellipse. It has a 400 horsepower diesel engine, and this unit takes diesel motorhomes to the limit. Now we're at the inside of the Ellipse. How about a full digital entertainment system here, and that converts over into navigation also. You get to your site, you spin around, you take your passenger seat, it spins into the living room now. How about an electric fireplace in the living room and a 40-inch LCD screen so that you can watch all your favorite truck races. Coming out of the living room now, you come into the dining area. This slides out to seat 4. Over in the kitchen, you've got a range, you've got a microwave, and how about a full-size dishwasher? Yeah, you can probably use that. Bathroom right here with the toilet. And then across from that, how about a full-size stainless steel refrigerator? Moving back into the master bedroom, full-size queen bed right there, and an additional bathroom here which has a shower, toilet, and a sink. More entertainment for you here for the master bedroom. But what's amazing is the amount of space right here. You could play Twister, you could set up a nice putting green, whatever you want to do. Inside the Ellipse, you've got all the space. And here's the thing, you can be assured that it's a great quality product because the RV Dealers Association gave it the Gold Circle Award.
Camping World, what a perfect fit for this series. I'm telling you, it is spectacular. You come to a racetrack, what's the first thing you see? You see campgrounds.
And they've been here since the beginning of the week, maybe even the end of last week, and they'll be here through next weekend.
Not a better partner in NASCAR than Camping World and the trucks, and they met their demographic head on, didn't they?
They sure did.
It was absolutely
Somebody studied
perfect.
that, Rick.
Absolutely perfect. So again, we're under our third caution. This time it was fluid on the racetrack, and that was caused by the 7 of Miguel Paludo and the engine expiring. Problems already for our defending series champion Todd Bodine into the inside wall. Hornaday's been sideways already as well. Welcome back. Beautiful shot of uptown Charlotte, North Carolina. Just a few miles to the northeast here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Currently running in the 6th spot. It is Kimi Räikkönen.
That's fun, right?
Up in 6th. Spectacular.
Yeah. Business is going to pick up here on this restart.
You got to like his attitude, though. Clean the tires up, get ready for this restart. You got to like his attitude, though, Phil. He could have said, I'd rather pit now and not be up in the middle of all this till I get my wits about me. I think he thinks he's got his wits about him.
But we've seen him, as you can see, what kind of a special career he's had at only 31 years old. But we've seen him pass a lot of trucks here already tonight.
And has looked impressive. Again, just 9 seasons in Formula One. He had 18 wins there and capturing that 2007 Formula One champion. Now let's go trackside to Ray Dunlap.
A bit of a dilemma for many of these crew chiefs deciding what to do. The guys who had stayed out earlier kind of had painted themselves into a corner. But for Austin Dillon, they made a decision here at lap 29. They came to pit road because he was so terribly loose they wanted to make a big track bar swing and air pressure. They got in at lap 29. That allows them now to pit just one more time. He'll restart deep in the field, but they need one more pit stop to go to the end. Hermie?
Well, rated 33 of Ron Hornaday came back to pit road for 2 reasons. To top off with fuel again, and the front windshield in this brand new truck had come loose. They retightened that and sent him back on the racetrack. Rick?
You want to make sure the windshield's tight on your truck when you're going 177 miles an hour. Field all in line 2 by 2. Green flag back out at Charlotte. Timothy Peters, James Buescher battling for the lead once again. Buescher on the inside, Peters on the outside.
Peters got the initial jump, then James Buescher came on strong, but Peters looks good on the outside.
Here comes Kyle Busch on the inside in that 2nd row.
By the way, that's Kimi Räikkönen. He's going to jump to the outside of his boss and teammate.
15 moving up the racetrack, trying to catch it as he goes up high. James Buescher also slips and he drops all the way back to 4th.
3 wide off turn 4.
Timothy Peters out in front. Kyle Busch runs 2nd. Clint Bowyer is 3rd. And running 4th now is James Buescher.
Jason White on the outside of Kimi Räikkönen off turn 2. We talked about Jason qualifying pretty well. He usually runs really good when he qualifies inside the top 20, and that's what he's done. Marched straight to the front. He's got a really good truck. 3 wide again.
The 93 on the outside is Shane Sieg. He's slowing just a bit.
There's Austin Dillon coming on the inside of Chris Fontaine in the 84 truck. You can see right there, Shane Sieg has made some contact with the outside wall. He's up in the speedy drive from Miguel Paludo's truck. I think that may be what happened to him. Just sent him in the wall, just had no grip up there. Then there were 3 and 4 wide going by Shane Sieg.
Ron Hornaday at the bottom of that.
And he just spun out, you know. But he said 4 wide will give me a couple of spots here. I got to go for it.
Timothy Peters in front of 2 Cup stars.
Clint Bowyer's been able to make his way by Kyle Busch. Remember, Clint Bowyer has already been to pit road. Kyle Busch has not been to pit road yet.
Looking at the bottom of the racetrack, Clint Bowyer trying to get by that 17 of Timothy Peters.
Timothy Peters also has not made a pit stop as of yet.
Peters, Boyer, Busch, and Buescher, your top 4. Right behind them, Matt Crafton. Then it's Johnny Sauter, Jason White, Cole Witt, Brad Sweet, and Justin Marks, your top 10.
3 of our top 4 right now have not yet pitted. There's Brendan Gaughan, and the good battle right here. Brendan on the inside in that South Point Toyota.
And a couple of Formula One guys. There's Kimi Räikkönen racing beside Nelson Piquet Jr. And then Ricky Carmichael bringing up the rear of that little battle. What about that? A couple of Formula One drivers and the greatest motorcycle racer of all time right here on Speed in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. This is fun.
How about that? This is the second Formula One world champion to make his NASCAR debut in the Camping World Truck Series. Jacques Villeneuve did that back at Las Vegas a few years ago.
Last time Kimi and Nelson Piquet Jr. raced against each other was actually in 2009, the F1 Hungarian GP. Battle for third now between James Buescher, and look at how low Kyle Busch runs him down the racetrack.
I'd say that was a
he's upset about something. Yeah, he's not happy with something that James did, obviously.
Looks like there might have been a little contact to the right side, or excuse me, the left side of that 18. And now Buescher all over his back bumper.
Kyle's going to move up the racetrack, opens up the bottom for Buescher. You see Johnny Sauter and his teammate Matt Crafton side by side behind these two.
Those two running for the 5th position. Teammates back there. And now Buescher trying to make the charge back by that 18 of Kyle Busch.
Looks like he got a loose, had to chase it a little bit.
Now he's going to have his hands full because I think Kyle's still a little bit upset.
Kyle Busch not happy. James Buescher just in front of him, able to put 2 truck links between the 2 trucks.
I think things would be better for James if he's able to drive away from Kyle a little bit.
And he's able to. That was a great move by James Buescher. Had the pressure of knowing Kyle was going to side draft him, but yet he made the corner, kept his truck going straight, and made the pass. That's a pretty good move.
And we haven't seen a lot of that on Kyle Busch at all this year. He's been to victory lane 3 times of the 5 races he started in 2011.
He doesn't get past much.
Now Austin Dillon getting by Clay Rogers in the 92.
Austin takes over the 19th position. Now remember, he pitted late. What about our number 29?
What about how cool our top 10 is? Piquet Jr.'s 10th, Brad Sweet 9th, Jason White, Cole Witt, all these guys running inside the top 10.
Timothy Peters in front of Clint Boyer by 0.3 of a second. James Buescher runs in the 3rd spot, Kyle Busch 4th, and Johnny Sauter in 5th. We're going to slip away for 60 seconds and be right back to action. Tomorrow night on Speed, it's checkers or wreckers. As the stars come out, the gloves will come off for the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race. With $1 million on the line, nobody's holding back for NASCAR's best. Don't miss the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race tomorrow night, 7 Eastern, live and only right here on Speed.
I would almost guarantee you it's going to be checkers and wreckers. There's going to be both of those tomorrow night.
You see we got problems already for the 28 of Wes Burton. He got into the wall on the right side, down on the apron. We stay green.
All by himself.
Looks
got
like
a little bit loose maybe, or just
maybe he got in a little harder than he had, possibly, and the splitter got on the ground. You saw it sparking, and he just couldn't get the truck to turn. This guy's not having any problem getting his truck to turn. Look at that line. What a beautiful line that was. High into the corner and cuts it right down to that white line.
And remember, he is pulling away from a guy who's already been on the pit road. Clint Boyer's been on pit road. Timothy Peters hasn't.
And Clint put right side tires on too, so we know he has fresher tires than Timothy Peters. 100th career start tonight for Timothy Peters.
Just celebrated his anniversary the other day. 4th year they've been married, and then 100th start tonight. He's leading the race. Life is good for Timothy Peters.
Absolutely. If you can just hold on for 90 more laps. But remember now, he hasn't stopped yet, Mikey. We're 44 laps into this race. Yes, we've had some caution laps that will extend his pit window, but look for him around probably around lap 55, maybe at the latest.
I thought we were within 10 laps or so of seeing some of these trucks on pit road. But what I'm loving, Phil, is the strategy that has been played early. It's proven that you don't have to have tires to lead the race. You have to have gas to finish the race for sure. So that'll be something that'll come into play. But I like the 2-tire versus 4-tire versus no tires early in the going. Answered a lot of questions for these teams.
I like this battle. 9th position on the line for Brad Sweet and Jason White. White currently holds it. We've seen Brad Sweet look to the inside already.
Nelson Piquet Jr. has made his move up to the 8th spot.
Drove around these two.
Yeah, he was 10th here just a couple laps ago. There's Brendan Gaughan. He's going to jump to the outside, which he certainly loves. He told me, he said, I haven't figured the qualifying thing out yet. I'm a little bit rusty qualifying, so I just ran my race line, which that's where he ran qualifying, right up there.
Up towards the wall, and up towards the wall he goes to take 10th away from Brad Sweet.
Coming off a great run at Dover. Actually 2 top 10s in his last 3 starts, as you can see, for Brendan.
Trying to get that momentum back from back in 2003.
He likes it up there.
Jason knows he's there. Fortunately, he's got a great spotter, aware of his surroundings. He knows Brendan's up there, and he had a run, gave him some room.
Takes 9th away from Jason White, so Brendan Gaughan back up into the top 10.
Wes Burton there down on the apron. That truck's damaged from the contact into the wall.
And here comes Kimi Räikkönen. Räikkönen currently running in the 12th spot. Another truck that didn't come to pit road.
He's hung in there pretty well, too. He restarted about 6th, and he's only fallen back to 12th, and that's with about everybody behind him with probably fresher tires.
And something really interesting is getting ready to happen to this young man when he has to make his first pit stop under green flag conditions. He'll have a really tough time of carrying enough speed to pit road without overdoing it.
How about this list of F1 world champions that have competed in NASCAR? Kimi Räikkönen here tonight, Jacques Villeneuve, we talked about back a few years ago in Las Vegas, Mario Andretti, Daytona 500 winner, as well as a world champion, and Jimmy Clark made a start at Rockingham back in 1967.
Kimi Räikkönen pretty impressive. Now earlier today during practice, he was trying to get onto pit road, came too fast. That was during practice. Now think about what it's going to be like at race speed if he has to come onto pit road under green flag conditions.
He couldn't even get to pit road under caution earlier. They tried to get him in then and he didn't make it. So now we're going to do it under green. He's got to go from 180 miles an hour, Phil, down to 45. This
may be one of the most challenging things he's going to face during this race. He's done a terrific job so far. He's already bounced off the wall a little bit, but he's passed a lot of trucks. He's maintaining a good position. He's staying out in front of Ron Hornaday, who has tires.
Yeah, Ron Hornaday drove up to within 3 or 4 truck lengths of Kimi, but he's driven away from Ron and starting to drive up toward that battle for a top 10 spot. A great job by this guy early in the going.
Battle for the 2nd position starting to build. James Buescher and Clint Bowyer.
Remember, James Buescher is another one of those trucks that has not stopped yet. Clint Bowyer stopped back on lap number 21, put right side tires on. James Buescher has to be within 5-6 laps of stopping, I got to believe.
And Buescher's able to get by Clint Bowyer. Here comes Kyle Busch back there on the 18. So Buescher gets by Clint Bowyer, still out front. Timothy Peters has a 2-second lead over this battle for 2nd.
Oh, we got a spin in turn 4.
The 18 of Busch goes around, slides in turn number 4, tries to stay off the wall. He does.
Good job.
And that brings out the 4th caution of the night.
That's not something you see every day.
You see it almost happen about every race.
Stuff here, bud. Try to get you fixed up. 4 tires and gas when pit road's open here, buddy.
Kyle Busch running in the 4th position. And this is actually a good thing for quite a few of these drivers who hadn't been to pit road yet.
A big break for a lot of teams. It was time to come to pit road.
Remember, this is Shane Singh in the 93 truck. He's out there, just came in the pits.
Sideways early.
Just sideways early and just loses control.
Really fortunate.
We've had Todd Bodine, a 2-time Truck Series champion, spin out. We've had Ron Hornaday, a 4-time Truck Series champion, spin out. And we've had a guy that's won 18 of the last 28 starts in the Truck Series, and he spins out.
And what a great job. See those back tires spinning? He was on the gas, making sure he didn't go in the outside wall, and then he got off the gas and on the brakes to keep it out of the inside wall.
And he had to get off the brake to make sure he didn't hit the inside wall.
Listen to this.
All right, roll down. Oh, no, attaboy. Good job.
We've seen that truck so close to spinning out every race. That's how hard he drives it. That time it finally got away from him, and it looked weird. He just lost it on entry. It wasn't like a bobble, a correction. It just went around on him.
At the drivers meeting, I asked Kyle Busch. I said, Kyle, we heard you on the radio. We've heard you talking in interviews, talking about how loose your truck is. And we know that you normally drive a race vehicle fairly loose. And he said, you know what, though? Kimmy's truck is loose, and I don't want him to have his first experience in NASCAR be a bad one. He was more worried about Kimi Räikkönen having a good truck than his own, and right now it looks like he might want to worry about himself.
What a great opportune time here for this caution to come out is for Timothy Peters, our leader, as well as James Buescher, and for Kyle Busch. They were all getting ready to make a green flag pit stop, Hermie.
You're right, Phil. James Buescher was scheduled to come down pit road under green on lap 52. They get a chance to do it under caution. He loves his truck. A little bit on the loose side, only an air pressure adjustment. Going to be 4 tires and Sunoco fuel for James Buescher. Ray?
Kyle Busch has been out of control throughout the course of the night. Not very pleased with these tires. He called them hockey pucks earlier, said that he's sliding all over the racetrack. A wholesale changes for this number 18 team on the bottom of your screen. At the top you see our leader. Timothy Peters has pit stall number 1. He said he was about a 2 snug. They'll get him a window tear off. He will not be the first off pit road. As they go 4 tires and get plenty of fuel, he's going to lose about 6 spots.
Hornaday wins the race off of pit road.
There had to be some two tire changes there, you think, Phil?
Again, strategies all over the board here.
Sideways for Kyle Busch. We see him sideways a lot, but not that much. Coming through 3 and 4, he catches it, stays off the wall. We're under caution. Tomorrow, Speed's Ultimate Free Race Show. Get you revved up for the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race. From racing's biggest names to the Pennzoil Ultimate Victory Challenge, we've got you covered. NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, live from Charlotte tomorrow, 4 Eastern on Speed, the Motorsports Authority.
Man, can you wait for tomorrow night now? $1 million to the winner of this thing. We've got a former winner right here in our booth with us.
And you get to help call the race tomorrow.
I can't wait to be on Speed tomorrow night for the All-Star Race. Listen to this. This is all you need to know. 100 laps, $1 million to the winner. We grew up racing cars where we ran a 100-lapper. That was a big deal. It paid $2,500. Now these same people with that same mentality are going to get to race for $1 million. It's going to be out of control.
My 100-lappers paid $700.
Kyle Busch again spinning, bringing out our most recent caution. He came to pit road. This is what he had to say to his crew chief.
Sorry about this. We'll work on it here. We'll make it better. It ain't just us, man. I mean, it's all of us. It's just out of control.
I think out of control is a good phrase to say what these guys are dealing with right now.
I think that's totally fair. Look, the guys that have spun out, this is amazing.
Three of the top five all-time wins list in the Camping World Truck Series have spun out tonight.
There's our lucky dog, Chris Fontaine. Aaron's is giving him a lap back.
He spun in practice earlier today.
Damaged the back of that truck a little bit, but not enough to hurt it.
Well, if you like racing and you like money, who doesn't like money? Like Speed on Facebook for your chance to win $10,000. Watch the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race on Speed tomorrow night to get a special code that'll give you more chances to win. With 10 grand on the line, what's not to like?
That was a rhetorical question, wasn't it?
It was. It definitely was. You see the light still on the pace car out in front of the field as they go 2 by 2, getting ready for the 1 to go sign.
And they're getting that now, so next time by, we'll be back to speed. This lineup keeps getting all jumbled up. Ron Hornaday's backwards on the straightaway a few laps ago. Now he's leading the darn race.
Hornaday won the race off of pit road. Brendan Gaughan followed him off of pit road. So they're 1 and 2. Johnny Sauter, Clint Bowyer, Timothy Peters are your top 5.
Cole Witt there. Actually, Cole Witt is going to restart in the 5th position. Timothy Peters will restart 6th. There's Matt Crafton, James Buescher back in row number 4, 7th and 8th. And there's Austin Dillon, Kyle Busch, 9th and 10th.
Remember, Kyle Busch, our most recent spin, brought out this caution.
Our most recent spinner, Kyle Busch.
There's Jason White and Max Pappas just outside the top 10 and a couple more.
How about a couple F1 drivers there side by side?
Our international flair, those 3 guys there in a row, Brazil, Finland, Italy. All over the place. Como, Italy.
Hermie.
Hey guys, just want to let you know, Ron Hornaday Jr. is obviously on a different pit cycle than the other guys due to his problems early in the race. He came in, got fuel only this time, did Ron Hornaday Jr., so he's a up front looking at some of that clean air. Fuel only for 33. Ray?
On our first round of pit stops, Hermie, at lap 21, Boyer went with right sides only, but this time down pit road at 47, they decided to go 4 tires. He came in third, went out second. They feeling just a little bit tight off, so they made an air pressure adjustment on the right side.
Bad luck continues for Timothy Peters. He was too fast entering. He was running 4th, so he got a penalty on pit road. Green flag back in the air.
That was Travis Quapple that got a penalty. Timothy Peters is up in that. He wasn't.
Oh, 3 wide. Yes. Coming through turn number 2. Battle for the 5th spot. Cole Witt noses just in front of that 31 of James Busher.
Brendan Gaughan got a terrible start there.
Got a tough start there.
They're still 3 wide.
Brendan Gaughan slowly falling back now as Max Pappas gets by in the number 9. A teammate of Brendan Gaughan's.
Continue to be 3 wide. There's Austin Dillon. Now they settle out side by side. Austin Dillon on the inside.
Kimi Räikkönen on the outside, riding along with him. You see Jason White to the inside. Brad Sweet just in front of him. And Brad Sweet sideways. Kimi Räikkönen's going to make the pass.
And he's going to try to go underneath Jason White, too.
Kimi Räikkönen in the 15. Now trying to hold it on the bottom of the racetrack. Up a lane as he chases that 23 of Jason White.
Here comes Ricky Carmichael right up on the tailgate of Kimi Räikkönen. Joey Coulter now starting to battle inside the top 15 there with these guys.
What diverse backgrounds we have in this Camping World Truck.
Oh, we got a spinner.
Timothy Peters into the wall.
I'll look at it down the front here. Inside.
We got a pit, Phil.
Yeah, quite a bit of damage.
Inside 18, gap behind 18.
Yeah, he's going to hit it again.
Hold it up there. Hold it up there. Still green. Yellow's out. Yellow's out. Yellow's out.
Comes out.
Did the 2 get me?
Timothy thinks he might have had some help there.
He asked, did the 2 get me? Is that what he said?
I couldn't tell what number he was talking about.
We saw Timothy sideways.
2 flag got.
Sounded like maybe the 2 got him.
He thinks the 2 got him, but he got sideways. You saw the back end slip out. Let's take another look.
He's going to the outside of the 13 of Johnny Sauter.
The 2 didn't get him. He just lost it on the outside.
Yeah, the 2 was nowhere near him.
Happened in a hurry, didn't it, Phil?
Sure did.
That thing jumped around quickly.
That's funny. From the driver's seat, he may have thought he had help there.
Well, yeah, because look how fast this happens.
Johnny Sauter was moving up the hill, and Timothy was running out of room.
And the first truck he saw was the 2 going by. James Busher able to clear.
Such a good run going, though, for Timothy Peters on his 100th career start. They more than likely will be able to make repairs, but out of contention.
Look at the run he gets on Johnny Sauter.
You're good.
That truck was solid right up to when it lost control.
Yeah, I don't think Johnny Sauter had any idea that Timothy was coming that hard, do you?
Inside 2. I'll look at it down the front here. Inside.
Wow, that's pretty.
Wow. How about that super slow motion there?
Just coming out of turn number 2, the back end kicks around for Timothy Peters. He slaps the wall, and the sparks begin to fly.
Man, they had such a great truck.
Oh, yeah. Disappointment.
Butch Hilton and the guys.
I mean, they had a chance to win this race. They had a truck that could have gone to victory lane tonight. Instead, to the garage it goes.
Yeah.
Into the garage they go with the 17 of Timothy Peters. So another one heads into the garage. Stay with us here on Speed. Speed's coverage of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series is presented on Speed in part by the North Carolina Education Lottery. Brought to you in part by Allstate. Dollar for dollar, nobody protects the rider like Allstate. Are you in good hands? By Touch of Gray, gets rid of some gray, never all. And by AT&T. Friday night racing under the lights in the North Carolina Education Lottery 200 presented on Speed by Yamaha. I like Friday night racing.
Love Friday night. Love running under the lights here, especially at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The first super speedway to put lights in, and man, was that a big deal.
A lot of action, too. Our latest caution is Timothy Peters. Here you can see how fast he was going through the center of the corner. And he lost control of his truck coming off.
Got loose, slammed into the outside wall, and he went into the garage. Now let's go to Ray.
Well, guys, there's a great deal of work that needs done on this number 17 truck. The right front suspension pretty much destroyed. They've got to tear it off and replace it. And Timothy, I know you just saw the replay there, but amazing how good your truck was on the early run.
Yeah, it was really good. Just not on the early run, but the long run too. We got out front, and it was cool to lead some laps here at Charlotte. Just looking at the replay, I had to run on the 13 and just come around on me. So I apologize to these guys on this gear wrench Toyota Tundra, man. It's a shame, but you know what? We were forced to reckon with. I just hate it's a brand new truck, but we got Kansas.
All right, we've got two Red Horse Racing trucks that are parked right by each other back here in the garage. Hermie?
Yeah, Ray, we've talked about Ron Hornaday, who's leading, but Johnny Sauter, let's give him a call tonight here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, currently running second. He's got a good truck. He's been good pretty much all day long. He started from the 7th position this last time on pit road. He did get 2 tires and made a chassis adjustment. A little bit on the free side has been Johnny Sauter, but he is really looking forward to trying to get out front and lead some of this race tonight. And he's going to give Ron Hornaday everything he can give him on this next restart.
Thanks, Hermie.
You know, Hermie, not only this race, but he's been good all year long. Comes into this race second points, only 5 behind.
Our Aaron's lucky dog goes to Brian Silas. So the Stuart, Florida 23-year-old will get a lap back, courtesy of Aaron's. Make sure to keep it right here on Speed. Immediately following our race, Adam Alexander in Speed Center, and then Trackside, a special edition, getting you ready for the All-Star race.
That'll be
Kane, Jamie McMurray on Trackside.
That'll be about 15 hours worth so far today on Speed. I don't know why you would ever change channels.
How about tomorrow, though? Speed Center kicks it all off, and the NASCAR race day built by the Home Depot at 4 o'clock, getting you ready for the NASCAR Sprint Cup All-Star race. It's, like you mentioned, 100 laps for $1 million. And then that'll all wind up with NASCAR Victory Lane at 11 o'clock tomorrow evening.
Don't forget, we have the All-Star Showdown prior to the Sprint All-Star race.
It's going to be a great day once again on Speed. Unbelievable the names that we have had have problems early on in this race.
A who's who here. How about Todd Bodine, 2-time and defending champion, spins out up off of 2, hits the inside wall.
Next guy, how about 4-time champion Ron Hornaday?
And how about the guy that's won about 20 some races in Cup, 50 some and everything else, 70 altogether. How does he get backwards?
Call it 96 altogether.
96 wins altogether in the top 3, and Kyle Busch spins. And now, 2-time winner in the Truck Series, Timothy Peters, slams into the wall coming out of turn number 2.
Did you say 96 altogether?
Yeah.
Holy cow. that happened in a hurry. That elevated quickly.
Yeah. Pretty impressive. That guy
He's 26. He's 26 years old. Would you believe that Kyle Busch finishes first or second in 49% of the truck races that he runs? First or second?
That's literally.
That's almost half.
That's almost half.
I'm still tore up over the 96 stat y'all just threw out there.
Big numbers. Big numbers. On the inside, Johnny Sauter trying to get by that 33 of Ron Hornaday. Do you remember Kansas?
A little bit of history there. A little bit of history there with those two.
2 trucks side by side, and they were spinning through 3 and 4. Johnny Sauter ends up winning. Ron Hornaday tonight wants to get back to victory lane. He's been to victory lane twice here. Green flag back in the air.
Sauter tries to keep his front fender in there. He does. Hornaday has to give him room. Sauter has it.
Sauter takes the lead, brings with him Clint Boyer on the bottom of the racetrack in that number 2. Now the momentum helping Hornaday on the outside as he gets back to the outside of Boyer. Those 2 battle for the 2nd spot.
Looked like the 18 might have been giving the 2 a little shove. Kyle Busch in the back of Clint Boyer on the back straightaway, trying to help him draft along. Was that Brendan Gaughan?
Brendan Gaughan bounces off the wall coming off turn 4.
He got in. Oh, and it's going to crash.
Yep, right behind him.
Check up. He's coming back up.
Checking to avoid was the 0-2 of Jamie Dick. You see TJ Bell with problems in the 50. Jamie Dick in that 0-2 was coming up on Brendan Gaughan, had nowhere to go.
Come on around.
Went
See how
hard
bad it's
left.
hurt. I think it's got splitter, but other than that, I don't know.
Brendan Gaughan got in the wall off 4, and they didn't get done wrecking until they were all the way down into 1. That shows you how fast things happen.
Let's check it up, see what we got. If we have to, we'll pull it behind there, change the axle on it.
Jamie Dick did a nice job avoiding Brendan, but unfortunately, TJ Bell came along with absolutely nowhere to go. You see all the damage to that.
Make it around. TJ, can you make it around? You need to watch your gauges, watch your oil pressure.
I'm watching that. We're good so far.
Look at all the grass on the racetrack.
Wow.
What about all the action we've had here tonight?
I think is this 6 cautions
Sixth
so far?
caution already as we're
not half.
We've
just
passed
halfway.
the halfway point. And the record for cautions at this racetrack for the trucks is 10.
Here's the push from Kyle Busch to Clint Bowyer. He said, come on, Clint, let's go. And watch Clint get a little bit out of whack there.
I don't think he was wanting to push right then.
Able to move by that 33, but again coming off of turn 4, that 62 of Brendan Gaughan up into the wall.
He got a little bit loose and then had to use some more racetrack to catch it. And there's Jamie Dick. Now he pulls to the outside, sees Brendan, jerks back to the inside, but TJ Bell was coming along with absolutely nowhere to go.
And there was nothing Jamie could do either, Phil. That front straightaway, like I said earlier, is flat. And when he first saw Brendan Gaughan, he was going to run right over top of him. He had to cut it to the left. The truck got away from him. And poor TJ, he just was minding his own business and wound up clobbering him.
At speed.
TJ does a nice job not letting that truck slide all the way back across the racetrack into the outside wall.
Aaron's doesn't care how many lucky dogs they give away.
They're going to give a couple
every
more
caution
tonight.
Probably every caution they're going to give
every time there's a caution, they will give a lucky dog out. Chris Fontaine's going to get this one. Look at that. You know, it's so easy to forget these guys are traveling at 180 miles an hour because they make it look at that action.
Wow. Look at TJ Bell get air.
What great
TJ Bell
pictures.
gets air.
Look at that.
All 4 tires up off the ground.
TJ Bell's in the showdown tomorrow. Bet he doesn't want another ride like that.
Look at the smoke off those tires. What a great shot from that super slow motion camera.
That's amazing.
Beautiful pictures coming to you from Charlotte Motor Speedway as the damage being assessed to that 50 of TJ Bell. Brendan Gaughan slaps the wall. Jamie Dick comes down the racetrack, and TJ Bell gets air in the infield at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Tomorrow night on Speed, it's checkers or wreckers as the stars come out and the gloves come off for the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race with $1 million on the line. It's no holding back for NASCAR's best. Don't miss the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race tomorrow night, 7 Eastern, live and only on Speed. Just over 12 hours ago, we came on the air here on Speed covering the Camping World Truck Series first practice. We want to give a big hand to all the guys behind the cameras, everyone in the truck, and all of those that laid all of the cable and wires to get this ready to go. It's been a long day, and we want to say thank you to everyone.
Is that Nelson up there?
Nelson, if you could shoot some of the planets up there, we'd really love to see if Saturn. Hello, Robo guys.
Will he say hi back?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there he goes.
They're actually in the truck operating those cameras.
No, they're in that little box right there.
They're very little people.
Let's have another restart. How about that?
Yeah, it's been a long day though, and we do want to sincerely say thank you to everyone who's put in the extra hours as we have 61 laps to go here. Out in front of this field, Johnny Sauter and Clint Bowyer 1 and 2.
James Busher is on pit road right now. We got a report that he had to change a battery. Ray, what's going on down there? I'm sorry, Hermie, what's going on down there?
Oh, I've got the 31 truck of James Busher. They did come in and change the battery. He was losing power on the racetrack and also inside of the truck, losing some voltage there on the gauge, so they changed the battery, then came back in. This caution, this most recent lap got 4 tires, topped it off with gas, and if they get 5 caution laps, they say they can go the rest of the way. Ray?
Well, down on my end, Hermie, the number 2 truck is still a little further away from making it all the way. They need about 7 or 8 more caution laps from where we're at right here. But heard some good conversation on the radio. Clint Bowyer said, man, I cannot get over how loose this truck has been throughout the day and in this race. And Kevin Harvick came on the radio and said, now listen, Bowyer, your loose and my loose are a little bit different. You come from dirt racing and I come from asphalt racing, so you're going to have to give us more information than loose. He said, how about it's incredibly loose? So I think a lot of these guys out there tonight have been fighting that wheel all the way around the racetrack, and obviously as many times as we've seen spin outs, there's still more to come.
Green flag goes back in the air. Johnny Sauter, Clint Bowyer battling for the lead as they go through the quad oval and into turn number 1.
Johnny staying right against Clint Bowyer.
3 wide back behind him, battling for position on the racetrack, and it's about to be 3 wide for second. Here comes Kyle Busch, and there goes Kyle Busch.
How about Cole Witt making it 3 wide in the bottom? There's still 3 wide, Kyle. I'm backing out of there.
Ron Hornaday has third. Here comes Cole Witt for that 3rd spot. They continue to go for the lead. Johnny Sauter on the outside. Clint Bowyer on the inside. Sauter gets the nod at the stripe.
There's Brendan.
Still
truck up high
for that 62 as he runs the high side of this racetrack, not up to speed.
Oh, we got a
and
crash.
Into the wall goes Max Pappas after he gets contact with the 62 of Brendan Gaughan.
Matt Crafton also got a good piece of that. Matt Crafton never finished out of the top 11 here.
He's going to finish outside of it today, Rick.
Man, what the hell happened, Jason?
A really bad night for Jermaine. And there you see the sparks coming out from beneath the 88 of Matt Crafton.
And that's our point leader too now, you know. By 5 coming in here over Johnny Sauter.
Yeah, any one of the top 6 in points could have left here with the point lead, Phil, and this is really going to shake things up with Crafton. This truck's damaged where they'll have to go to the garage. Look, the right front tire's not even on it anymore.
Broken off that.
No brakes.
And that's a bad sign.
What happened over there?
Max was running 7th when the incident happened. Let's see if we can take a look. We saw Brendan's cripple truck. There it is right there. Now Max is on the... I think Max maybe didn't know that Matt Crafton had his nose stuck up there on the outside. When he moved up, he made contact with the left front corner of Matt Crafton's truck and turned him sideways into Brendan.
The slower truck of Brendan Gaughan everybody was avoiding him. Max didn't know that the 88 had gotten beside him. You could see on the top of the screen.
Brendan up as high as he can be to try to stay out of the way.
And there's plenty of room for him, but Max just goes up the hill too far.
I don't think Max realized that it was going to be 3 wide. I don't think he knew that the 88 of Matt Crafton was up there.
See Kimi Räikkönen slipping by there, Matt Crafton with all the other Clayton Rogers and those guys making their way by.
Boy, that's a tough night for Jermaine Racing so far.
And on to pit road, the field comes. Hermie Sadler.
Yeah, Johnny Sauter coming down pit road. He likes his truck up front. It's a little bit freer out of that clean air, but they're going to put 4 tires on it. Air pressure adjustment, Ray.
Track bar adjustment for Clint Bowyer, and they fill it full of gas. He and Kyle Busch are going to have a battle down to the end of the straightaway. I can't call that one, guys. Who got there first?
Like Kyle Busch beat him off pit road.
Kyle Busch did. Chris Fontaine gets turned around on pit road. I think.
Go left, go left.
We're here in contact with Brad Sweet in the 32
Come
truck.
forward, gas it up, make a damn U-turn. Stop right there. Go around, put gas in the damn thing.
One truck that stayed on the racetrack was Cole Witt.
Let's see if we can take a look at how the 84 got turned around. Watch the 32 left of your screen. He's going to pull out of its pits. The 84 truck going by, and the 32 of Brad Sweet just runs in to Chris Fontaine in the 84 truck as he was trying to get to his pit. You see, that's his pit right there.
And I'd say that the 32 truck will have to come back to pit road. He hit pretty hard with the right front. This is a really heads-up call. Let's just get in the box. That's all you have to be. Put some gas in it.
He's legal. He's in the box.
He's completely inside the box, so they can do the work on the truck.
And he didn't have to turn around on pit road till everybody was gone. That's right. Safer way to go about things.
The reason why we're under caution, Brendan Gaughan, not up to speed on the high side of the racetrack. Max Pappas, 88 of Matt Crafton, make contact and into the wall they go. Huge night tomorrow on speed. It's checkers or wreckers as the stars will come out. And of course, those gloves come off for the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race. $1 million on the line. You do not want to miss NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race tomorrow night, 7 Eastern, live only on speed.
And you know what may be more important than $1 million?
What?
There's a trophy.
Bragging rights.
There's a trophy to the winner.
I got $225,000 when I won the All-Star race.
How long did it take you to spend it?
And I don't know where that went, but I know exactly where my trophy's sitting. When you talk about trophies are more important than money, you don't part with your trophies. You usually wind up parting with your money. Especially if you start a race team.
I was going to say, but not always by choice.
And there's other ways to lose some of it too.
88 coming in was your point leader. How about Cole Witt running up front? He could leave this racetrack with the point lead.
Well, he's for real. Cole Witt is for real. He went to Daytona this year, missed the race, jumped in another truck, ends up with a top 15 finish, and then he's been good from here on out.
And his great start to the season has led him to the Nationwide Series again. It'll make his 3rd start in the series next week here in Charlotte in one of the Pastrana Waltrip cars. So he's moving on up.
Kimi Räikkönen, pretty impressive run already. Had a pretty close call under this most recent caution. Watch what happens up front.
He sees the trouble, he moves down.
And then right back up the racetrack after he clears
Good job, Kimi. Caution's out.
Matt Crafton involved in that incident. Ray Dunlap.
Well, we're down in the garage here, and of course, Matt Crafton, worst finish of the year so far has been 11th. It's going to get worse than that tonight. Tell us about the damage on the truck, Matt.
A lot of damage. I mean, spindles broke, blowers folded up. It's chaos. I mean, it's just insane. I mean, we had a pretty good truck. We was in track position. Kind of painted ourselves in a picture when in a corner when we came down there on pit road early. But all in all, I don't know. I honestly don't know what happened. The 62 was up high.
There you go.
I think the 9 just came up and didn't know I was there. He got loose or something, and I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, looks like it.
Yeah, it looks tight racing there for sure, no doubt about it. Tell us, well, we're about to go back to green. Thank you for your time. Matt Crafton going to get a bad points night tonight at Charlotte.
Green flag back in the air. 3 wide already for 5th. Now 3 wide for 2nd. Here comes the 2 of Clint Bowyer on the outside.
How about Cole Witt there with this lead?
When he got the lead at Dover, Phil, he drove off from these guys. Now he's out in front here at Charlotte. Can he do it again? Got Clint Bowyer right on his bumper.
Look at this heavy traffic.
We've heard the word chaos thrown out so many times by guys who are in the garage, and now we're looking at it once again on the racetrack.
We're 3 wide on the restart as far as you can see.
53 laps still to go here at Charlotte, out in front of that field.
Watch out now, there's Matt. I mean, Max Pappas, slow truck. First 3 trucks get by easy. How about Clint Bowyer now with the lead?
Clint Bowyer has the lead. Nelson Piquet Jr. up there battling with Cole Witt for position.
That thing got really loose on Piquet Jr. He had to slide up the track. Luckily, there wasn't anybody up there. Got some damage.
Jimmy Dick in the 0-2 has some damage to the front of that race truck.
But Dick's running inside the top 10 in his truck, beat all to pieces. Look at him hanging right there with Johnny Sauter.
Yeah, Johnny Sauter, the 13 truck, trying to make his way by. He's going to get to the outside of Jamie Dick. Little smoke from the left front tire on that 0-2 truck.
Still clear, 92, 1 back.
A lot of smoke still coming out from the left front of that 0-2 of Jamie Dick.
I think Joey Coulter making it 3 wide.
Do what you can, bud. Let's keep an eye
Sparks
on that
into the wall goes Jamie Dick.
Wall, guys. I think a tire went down.
I think that left front tire went down.
Keep it high. Keep it up there. Caution is out. Caution is out.
8th caution comes out.
Man, you gotta like Jamie Dick's spirit. He had that thing in the top 10. He didn't care if a tire was rubbing or not.
Let's just get caught up.
VivaAutoGroup.com on board with Jamie Dick here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, but the 8th caution has come out.
Our record is 10 cautions back in 05. We're going to pass that by far, I think. We're having a hard time working all this out.
Yeah, there he is there. That left front tire goes down. We saw it rubbing.
There's Kimi having another good look at a crash. He's been right behind most of them.
About 4 wide there as they go by Jamie Dick.
We've definitely seen a lot of sparks tonight.
It's All-Star weekend.
Yeah, going to see some tomorrow night.
Yeah, going to see a lot more tomorrow night. Record speeds, I think, too, man.
These fast
cars
today.
are hauling.
David Reagan with a pole for the showdown at 191.5 during pretty much the heat of the day.
So the 8th caution has come out. This time on lap 85. Again, 134 lap race. We've got 49 laps remaining. Stay with us here on Speed. Welcome back to the North Carolina Education Lottery 200, presented on Speed by Yamaha. Friday night racing under the lights for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Aaron's lucky dog goes to Max Pappas in that modified number 9 Geico Toyota Tundra.
You can be an ugly dog and get a lucky dog.
And it doesn't look pretty right now for Max Pappas. Let's go down to Hermie Sadler.
Do it. Yeah, Rick, the 60 of Cole Witt came down to pit road. He had been on the racetrack for the last couple of cautions, but he came down pit road and took 4 tires, no adjustments, and got him back on the racetrack. Ray?
If you look at the front of Kyle Busch's truck, he's got some damage on the left front on the nose. They had talked about pitting to put some bear bond on it. Kyle said, I don't know, I'll try to do the best I can. Decision time for Clint Boyer. He didn't know if he should go to the inside or the outside. They said, just so you know, Kyle is 3rd. That helped him make his choice.
That means he jumped to the outside in order not to be in front of Kyle.
So row number 1, Clint Boyer, Nelson Piquet Jr. making up that front row. Nelson Piquet will be on the inside, Clint Boyer on the outside. Then it's Kyle Busch on the inside of row number 2, and outside of him, Ron Hornaday coming through the quad oval. Green flag back in the air.
How about KHI trucks right now running 3 in the top 4?
3 wide for second. Kyle Busch on the bottom of the racetrack. Nelson Piquet Jr. checks up, allows Kyle Busch to take that spot. Here comes Hornaday on the outside, battling for second.
James Busher going to try to make his way up on the outside. Kyle Busch pulls over in front of him.
Nelson Piquet Jr. down on the bottom of the track. That's tough sledding down there. The thing wants to get loose. We've seen that happen to the best.
Ricky Carmichael, Johnny Sauter side by side. Now they straighten it out. Johnny Sauter has the spot about 6th.
How about Nelson Piquet battling back on the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get by that 18 of Kyle Busch.
That's not a surprise either for Nelson Piquet to come here and run well.
Right behind him, James Busher in the 31. Then it's Johnny Sauter in that 13. Will be looking to take over the point lead from his teammate. Kimi Räikkönen on the inside, Jason White on the outside.
These trucks racing in the top 15, racing for the 14th position.
Max Pappas in that number 9 is going to receive the black flag from NASCAR.
He pulled to the pits. He's inside the pit road area.
He goes to pit road. They were no longer scoring him. Problems for Joey Coulter. He goes to the apron of the racetrack. Now back out onto the racing surface.
Jumping out of gear, he said.
Clear behind.
I think this might be the best truck on the track, Phil. James Busher is just steadily running faster than the other guys when he gets an open track. I think maybe that's the guy you're going to have to beat tonight.
He took over the 4th spot from Nelson Piquet Jr. Johnny Sauter now is going to try to take 5th from Nelson Piquet. There's Kimi Räikkönen right there, the 15 truck right of your screen. That's just inside the top 15. Justin Marks, the 66 GoPro Chevrolet, jumps to the outside and gets by Kimi Räikkönen.
Räikkönen right down there on the white line as we see Johnny Sauter in front of Nelson Piquet Jr. on the left side of your screen.
There's Cole Witt.
He gets a good run off the corner and gets to the outside of Kimi Räikkönen.
Number 4, fresh tires. As fresh tires as anybody in the field right now.
Whoa, he gets a little loose on entry. Up the hill he goes.
Out in front, it's still Clint Boyer. He's got a 0.6 of a second lead over Ron Hornaday. Kyle Busch runs 3rd. James Busher is 4th, and Johnny Sauter your top 5. There you see David Starr moving up the racetrack. Here comes Kimi Räikkönen to the bottom of the track. going by that 81.
You know, if you race Formula One and World Rally cars, you don't see many caution flags. He's probably experienced more of those tonight than he has his whole career.
And he's been racing from the time they dropped the green flag, racing with somebody.
I know we've got 41 laps to go, but how would you grade Kimi Räikkönen in his first ever NASCAR race?
Well, if you take into consideration the degree of difficulty that some of the cats that have lost control of their trucks, you'd have to give him an A+, Rick, because he's gotten up into the top 10. He stayed there, raced just inside the top 15. He's been all over the front of the field, so I'm really happy with his performance today. Another guy that I'm loving watching is Clayton Rogers. We had a great piece on him in the pre-race. He loves this sport. He wants to be here, and he's proven tonight, that he belongs here.
Just jumped up to the 9th spot, got by Travis Kvapil. He was running 10th, got by Travis for the 9th spot.
Comes Brad
Oh, we got a spinner.
Smoke right in front of that group. That's the 02 of Jamie Dick once again. Up near the wall and not up to speed.
Keep coming, keep coming.
We've seen this be a problem as they go through the quad oval.
Inside, inside.
So far, we stay green.
Everybody able to avoid.
Four more.
Tires going down on that 02. Sparks flying from underneath.
One more. Get low.
Caution's
Caution is out.
And the caution comes out for the 9th time tonight. One away from the record.
We got a long way to go, Rick.
And 39 laps remaining.
That 02 Viva truck is beat up, isn't it?
Shane Seek decided to stay right behind him.
Wonder why he's doing that. That would get on my nerves. Looks cool though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Look at the sparks go off the splitter of that 93 truck.
Why are they doing that?
I don't know.
I've seen a lot of stuff in my years of racing.
We've seen a lot of things tonight that we haven't been able to really wrap our brains around. Todd Bodine spun, hit the wall. Hornaday has spun. Kyle Busch has spun.
Timothy Peters
spins. 9 cautions already tonight. And we see Jamie Dick coming to a stop in his pit stall.
I believe that ought about do it for Jamie.
I think they've decided we need to push you into your pit stall. So much damage to the sheet metal of that race truck. Again, out in front, Clint Bowyer has the lead. Hornaday running second. Kyle Busch is third. James Buescher and Johnny Sauter rounding out our top 5. Then Nelson Piquet Jr., Austin Dillon, Ricky Carmichael, Brad Sweet, and Clay Rogers, your top 10. The 9th caution comes out as the 02 of Jamie Dick blows a tire and heads to pit road. Welcome back. North Carolina Education Lottery 200 presented on speed by Yamaha with just 36 laps to go here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. We have a winner. I would have to say that's the fans that are enjoying this race. They're definitely the winner tonight. And Ray Dunlap, what's happening with our front row?
Well, Rick, you know, middle of last year, I kept telling you over and over that every time KHI debuted a brand new chassis, it was a contender to win. And they had quite a streak going, but that thing cooled off a little bit at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. But it may get hot again tonight. Clint Bowyer is driving a brand new truck, number 59, and right behind him, Ron Hornaday has number 58, the 2 newest vehicles out of the KHI stable. So these guys talking on the radio about how each other's truck is responding. Bowyer said after I go 3 or 4 laps, I can go wide open, but then it gets loose. Hornaday says I can't go any laps wide open. I'm already loose when we get to green.
We were able to listen in to the communications for the 2 of Clint Bowyer. This is what he had to say.
Just get you a start like you did before. You know, everybody's running near the same speed, and they got to get around you once we get out front. So if you got to reach up and break that mirror, do it. Then I'd have to rely on you. Ooh, good point.
A little fun there between spotter and driver. So Clint Bowyer out in front of the field. He chooses the outside line. That puts Hornaday down on the bottom of the racetrack. James Buescher and Kyle Busch making up row number 2. Kyle Busch on the bottom, James Buescher on the top. Johnny Sauter, Nelson Piquet Jr. making up row number 3. Pace car makes its way back onto pit road, putting the field back in the hands of Clint Bowyer. They make their way through the quad oval, and green flag comes back out. We're back to racing.
3 wide. Kyle Busch takes them 3 wide as they head toward turn 1. He does that a lot.
How about that now? Hornaday not up to speed as quickly, and that allows Kyle Busch to jump into the middle. 3 wide, battling for second. Here comes Buescher on the outside. Are they going to make it 4 wide? You see Hornaday chasing the truck down onto the apron.
He went to block Johnny Sauter, and I think there was some contact there, Phil.
Yes, there was. And look, he's chasing that truck all over the racetrack.
Johnny Sauter making the move, trying to take away the 3rd spot from Hornaday, as we see Buescher up to second now, chasing behind Clint Bowyer.
I'm not so sure it's the tires' fault. I think these guys are just really driving aggressively. We saw contact on the back straightaway a couple times tonight. Clayton Rogers almost had his truck get away from him down there in 1 and 2. These guys are on it tonight. We talked about how important it is to perform well at your home track. Everybody's wanting to impress their team. These guys are driving hard. Look at Nelson Piquet under Johnny Sauter. Looked like Johnny got loose down at 3.
He slid up the racetrack, and that opened the door for Nelson Piquet Jr. Now Kyle Busch is going to jump to the outside of Hornaday going in turn 1.
Battle for the 3rd spot. Hornaday, Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch on the outside has the position.
Having to wade into the throttle, not able to stomp that throttle, as we see Piquet jump to the inside of his teammate Hornaday. Cole Witt's making some moves back there too. Remember, he was one of the last cars to come to pit road. He has now moved his way up well into the top 10, right behind Johnny Sauter.
Yeah, he took these guys 3 wide off turn 4. Almost made the pass, but now having to pull back in behind Ricky Carmichael.
Nelson Piquet Jr. moves to the inside of that 33 of Hornaday. Those two are fighting for the 4th spot.
Remember, these guys battled for the 2nd position at Nashville, with Piquet able to get by Hornaday for that 2nd spot.
Continues into turn number 1. Sparks fly from underneath the 33 as he gets into one pretty hard on the high line. They stay door to door as they go down the backstretch. Nelson Piquet Jr. working the bottom of the racetrack. Hornaday trying to keep the momentum up on the outside.
Piquet's giving them plenty of room in the corner, staying right next to the white line.
Well, we know how hard what he's doing is, Phil, because of the aero aspect of trying to keep that truck pinched down. But he did a nice job. It never bobbled. Now he's going to fall in behind Hornaday, maybe run a couple of laps and reassess what his truck needs to be able to complete that pass. Cole Witt is just dying to go 3 wide on these two. He did it off turn 4 a lap ago, and he almost did it there off 2.
Austin got by Cole Witt. Remember, Cole Witt and Ricky Carmichael were racing side by side. Austin now has gotten by both of them and moved up into the 7th spot.
And then look at this gaggle.
Problems with the 81 of David Starr. He's slow on the racetrack. Smoke coming out the back.
Blows the right front tire
down.
Got loose on him, guys. Got loose on him.
I believe we're going to tie a record. Sure enough, caution has come out for the 10th time at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
We heard the spotter say David got loose and the truck got away from him, made contact with the outside wall, cut down that right front tire.
This is a record that I was hoping we wouldn't tie or break. 10 cautions already tonight with just 28 laps remaining.
I didn't think we were done having cautions, and I still don't think we are.
Down at the bottom of the racetrack.
Got loose. Was that Kemi right behind him? Be a good view from his onboard camera.
Once again, he's been close to the action.
You know, I'm really curious. He said that if tonight didn't go well, let's look at his in truck. See the wow.
Right in front of him.
That's close. You know, Ricky said before the race, if he didn't do well tonight, he wouldn't come back. And I think he's done well. I wonder what he thinks about the experience, all these crashes he's seen.
You know, right before David Starr had his problems, Kimi actually got into the wall. Take a look.
That's about like he did it in practice.
Yeah, maybe a little bit harder there. You can see that truck jump up in the air.
I hit the wall quite hard.
Quite hard. Remember, he just said he just touched it in practice. He hit it quite hard that time.
I can't wait for the rest of this. This is fun.
27 laps to go. Not so much fun for David Starr in that 81 who's on pit road. It's been a long day. It started 13 hours ago for Kimi Räikkönen in his first foray in NASCAR. Once he climbed in and all the photographers had their pictures, he had his hands full on the racetrack.
Really throughout most of both practice sessions. Here's the final practice. That's completely sideways.
I don't think many people save that truck, no matter how much experience they've had. We've seen how difficult it is to keep control of your truck. They worked on it, got it tightened up. What do you know? Too tight. Into the outside wall he went.
And this is race action.
Watch this move.
To make some moves.
Makes it 3 wide here on the bottom of the racetrack. Bounces off the wall yet again just a few moments ago.
Right in front of him, David Starr has problems into the wall. Close call once again.
It's been an action-filled 13-hour day for him.
We listened into his radio communication moments ago. Here's what they had to say.
Yeah, it's a little bit too tight, so once it heats up, it starts to be okay. But every time when it feels that it starts working the car, then there's always caution. I understand. It's frustrating, but you're correct. Yep. Takes about 5 laps for you to get going.
I'm glad that guy understood, because I didn't really understand.
I understood every word he said. It's been fun watching Kimi Räikkönen in his first ever NASCAR race.
Well, it's been obvious to me why he's a world champion. What great control he's had of this truck. Never being on this racetrack, never running at these speeds before in a truck. He's had it out of whack, he's saved it, and he's marched up toward the top 15 and stayed there all day long. Great job.
Said he was very, very fast in his testing, but that's one truck on the racetrack at a time. He's had trucks all around him from the drop of the green flag, Ray.
And guys, in pre-race, I asked him Hauska Tavata. And I think that says, how is it to be in America? But it may say, is your dog brown? I'm not sure in Finnish, so I got to work on that.
You need to be careful what you're saying on the air, Ray. I heard Rosetta Stone is very good for that, too.
I have a friend that's from Finland, and they sent me a text of something to say, but I don't really trust them 100%. And I didn't know what they were trying to get me to say on TV, so I didn't go with it.
Yeah, we're live over in Finland, so be careful what you say. It's time for a restart. We'll have 23 laps remaining in this race. Out in front, it's Clint Bowyer, James Buescher. They make up row number 1. Green flag back in the air.
What do you say, Kyle Busch, 3 wide again? He decided just to push Buescher instead of trying to pass him.
Heavy traffic back behind. 3 wide there. Cole Witt on the outside.
Ricky Carmichael throwing that number 4 into the mix now.
Kimi Räikkönen jumps to the inside again to make it 3 wide.
Oh, and he's pushing up the track.
That's Travis Kvapil in the 5. Had to go up the racetrack just a bit to avoid contact.
Great job by Ricky Carmichael, like you said, Phil. He's made his way inside the top 10 and stayed there. Parker Kligerman was off pace earlier, had a flat tire, and the truck didn't look like it was that good, but he's got it squared away now. See that yellow truck there in the top 10.
Lost a lap, got an Aaron's Lucky Dog back in contention. How about 3 wide right here?
James Buescher in the middle, Hornaday on the outside. Here comes Kyle Busch. Haven't heard a lot from him today. Kyle Busch moves up into second now, chasing Clint Bowyer.
Comes Cole Witt, pulls up right behind Johnny Sauter.
James Buescher a little loose on the inside of that 33 of Hornaday. And here comes Johnny Sauter, makes the pass on Buescher.
And here comes Cole Witt to the outside.
Wow, that was tight.
Up, boys.
They've been hot, Rick. This has been the most amazing race I've seen in the Truck Series. These guys, at Charlotte, I've never seen them race this aggressively. I think it's a combination of the tires being a little tricky and people just trying to get where they're going.
In a hurry.
Definitely.
Ricky Carmichael in front of James Buescher. Just behind them, Parker Kligerman in the 29. Nelson Piquet Jr. in the 8. We Again, out front, it's Clint Boyer. Kyle Busch runs second. Hornaday third. Johnny Sauter is fourth. And Cole Witt running in that fifth spot.
And look, Cole's decided to go high with this truck. Made a great move through 1 and 2. It's going to work off 4 here.
Well, if he doesn't bounce off the fence, he doesn't.
Cole Witt able to take the spot away from Johnny Sauter. So he moves up to the 4th position while Buescher is back in 6th. Carmichael 7th. Nelson Piquet Jr. 8th.
Remember, Cole Witt has about 10 lap fresher tires than the 3 trucks right now running in front of him.
Tight racing all throughout this field. Looking at a battle here just outside the top 10, all the way into the top 10. Kligerman is in 9th there at the front. Travis Kvapil in this mix. He's in 13th. Another great run by Justin Marks. Pole last week, top 10 finish. He's proven again this week that he's got the speed to run with these guys.
Austin Dillon almost came up and got into the front end of that 5 of Travis Kvapil, but I would say I don't want to jinx it for him, but with 18 laps to go, this has actually been a pretty good run for Travis Kvapil.
He had teammates battling right here for the 6th position. Ricky Carmichael, James Buescher, both out of Turner Motorsports.
Nelson Piquet Jr. just behind him. 17 laps remain. Clint Boyer, Kyle Busch separated by 0.7 of a second. Side-by-side battle continuing. Brad Sweet on the outside.
You know,
Austin Dillon on the inside.
For the first time all year, Travis Kvapil had a fast truck at Dover. He didn't get a finish, had some trouble. And it looks like tonight he's got a fast truck again. See if he can close the deal, like you said, Rick. But it was good to see him run good last week, and he's running good again this week.
Here comes Cole Witt. Great momentum on the outside. Hornaday moves up the racetrack trying to slow that momentum down, but Cole Witt continuing to try to move by to take 3rd away.
You know, it looked like Cole Witt was running at the bottom of the racetrack and running okay, but once he's run up on the outside of this track, he's making moves. He's got that thing going now. I like how he adjusted his line, and it's paying off for him here late in the race.
Cole Witt, one of the 11 drivers making their first ever start here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
And not a lot of experience. And on any of the 1.5 miles, I think he ran Homestead last year. That was the only other 1.5 miles that he's been on. But I'll tell you, he'd never been to Darlington either. And he sat on a pole and finished in the top 10.
You know, another thing that could shock everyone, a rookie has never led the point standings in the Camping World Truck Series, and Cole Witt has an opportunity to leave this racetrack tonight with that points lead.
Right now, as they run, Johnny Sauter, Cole Witt, dead even.
Dead even for the points battle.
There's Austin Dillon trying to figure out a way around Parker Kligerman. Austin in the 3 truck, Parker in the 29.
These guys all run in the top 10. That's 10th place, Austin Dillon.
Well, I would love to see Ricky Carmichael, after the bad luck he's had this year, finish this thing off here. 14 laps to go, get to the end, get a top 10 finish.
Especially after such a big hit that he took at Dover a week ago. Now James Buescher all over the back bumper of that 13 of Johnny Sauter.
That's a battle for the 5th position. James Buescher was able to get by his teammate. Ricky Carmichael now chased down that 13 of Johnny Sauter.
Seeing if momentum will work as he goes higher on the racetrack. Kimi Räikkönen on the inside, Joey Coulter on the outside. That's for 16th.
And back up front, Kyle Busch has begun closing in on Clint Boyer.
It was 0.7 of a second. Now it's 0.4 of a second.
Yeah, he chopped a 10th off that last lap, steadily reeling in that 2 truck.
Kyle Busch trying to make it 4 wins here at this racetrack and 3 in a row in the Camping World Truck Series.
What about his night? I mean, he didn't like his truck at all early, spun it out, worked on it. That crew has done an amazing job. I would sense that he's still not happy with the way it feels. He's just driving the heck out of it.
But never gives up. Never gives up.
6 different drivers have been out front here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. But of the 6, the 18 has not been one of them. He has not led a lap here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, but he looks like he's getting close to getting by that too.
He wants to change that. He wants to lead lap 134. Coming up on 10 laps to go this time by.
Clint Boyer has led 50 laps. He will lead the most laps tonight. Timothy Peters was out front. James Busher out front. Hornaday's been out front of this field. Johnny Sauter as well as Cole Witt. And now the two battling for the top spot. Clint Bowyer and that 18 of Kyle Busch.
Remember when we talked to Clint Bowyer hours and hours ago during practice, and he said how much of a struggle they had with their truck trying to find the handle on it.
That's why these guys will be racing in the All-Star race tomorrow night. They can take something that's not right and do special things with it. That's what makes a championship caliber race car driver, and that's how you wind up in Cup, when you have the ability to do that.
Parker Kligerman on the inside of that 4. Ricky Carmichael. Great run for Justin Marks in the 66 just behind him.
Yeah, and Brad Sweet right there mixing it up with these guys.
Travis Quapple again trying to get his season untracked here.
Yeah, and give a shout out to Justin Lofton right there at the back of this pack. He opened up his day with a spin off turn 4, but yet he's been able to hang in there in the race and runs inside the top 15.
Inside of 8 laps of racing remaining from Charlotte, and the gap closes. Clint Bowyer trying to hold off Kyle Busch. Kyle goes to the high side. A battle for the lead.
One back, still clear. Still clear.
Don't think Clint Bowyer is not aware of the fact that Kyle Busch is there.
In your mirror.
All over your mirror right now. Kyle Busch, a little bobble.
Still clear by quarters. Still clear.
Here comes the momentum. Down the backstretch they go. Kyle Busch looks to the inside, trying to take the lead away from Clint Bowyer.
Had that run up off of turn number 2, got him to the inside. Does he have him cleared? He does.
Kyle Busch takes the lead away from Clint Bowyer. He'll lead his first lap of the night
right here
on lap 127.
Nice and smooth.
By the way, guys, that truck that just took the lead spun out earlier in this race.
And it looked like he tried to spin out taking the lead. It didn't stop him from making the pass. I don't think this is over, guys. I think Bowyer will get a run on it.
6 laps remaining. Clint Bowyer running the tire tracks, and that 18 has to go up the racetrack.
All right, he had a bad corner. You got 3 on him now.
I think Bowyer got loose getting on the entry of 3, don't you, Phil?
Or overdrove it a little bit, and I actually had to veer to the right to avoid Kyle's truck.
Side by side, back behind those two.
How about Justin Marks has made his way up into the top 10, got by Ricky Carmichael and Parker Kligerman.
See the 30 of Todd Bodine back on the racetrack making laps. Parker Kligerman to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get by. That's 66. Those two stay door to door down the backstretch.
Parker all the way down on the bottom of the racetrack. Justin Marks running the high side. James Busher now has caught Ron Hornaday in that battle for the 4th spot.
They continue to battle on the right side. Kligerman and Marks battling for the 9th position. Justin Marks had it at the stripe before. Now Kligerman has the advantage. Coming up on 3 laps remaining. They cross the stripe. Kyle Busch in front of Clint Bowyer. The final 3 laps, 4.5 miles from Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Look at this battle. Bowyer's reeling him in.
Clint down on the bottom with the left side tires below the white line. Kyle running towards the top.
Last time Clint Bowyer was in a truck was earlier this year at Phoenix, where he finished 2nd in that race.
You can see him
gain. He bounced off the wall.
Bowyer into the wall coming out of turn number 4 with just 2 laps to go. Will that be the end of his run at the lead?
I don't think so.
He's not giving up. Had a good corner right there.
And he closes the gap on Kyle Busch. Next time by, they'll receive the white flag.
That lap truck there took Bowyer's line away. He was making great time down on the bottom of the racetrack. Couldn't get there because of the slower truck that he had to go around and look at the ground. He lost to Kyle Busch.
And the battle continues. The 33 losing spots. Nelson Piquet Jr. gets turned around.
No caution. We're still green.
Stay green. White flag is out.
Hornaday up the racetrack. James Busher got in front of him. Kyle Busch has 3 truck links, now 4 on Clint Boyers. They work through 3 and 4. Kyle Busch comes out of turn number 4 into the quad oval. He'll win his 28th Camping World Truck Series race.
What a job by Kyle Busch. We continue to talk about it. 97 NASCAR wins. There's Parker Kligerman. He's going to get the 8th spot. Justin Marks get 9th. Brad Sweet gets a top 10 finish. And here comes Kimi Räikkönen with a top 15 run here in his first ever NASCAR start.
And I tell you what, he worked for that 15th place finish. Thumbs up, Kyle Busch and Cole Witt.
This will be an interesting interview.
And Johnny Sauter is now 1 point behind Cole Witt in the point standings of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. We have a rookie at the top of the charts in our point standings.
Pretty special rookie too.
Very impressive from young Cole Witt. Unofficially finishing in the 3rd spot, but it's all Kyle Busch after battling through a very loose truck all day long, and through the early portion of this race he's able to methodically work his way up to the front, and Kyle Busch leads the last 7 laps of the race here in Charlotte, and he'll be on his way to victory lane. We'll talk to him when we come back. Welcome back. The North Carolina Education Lottery 200 presented on Speed by Yamaha just wrapping up. Take a look at the parking lot here on Pit Road. Let's go trackside to Hermie Sadler.
Yeah, Clint Boyer getting the word in with owner for the night, Kevin Harvick. I know you're disappointed with a 2nd place finish. Talk about the battle. He got valued and you ran him back down. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, it was just too loose. I mean, we was too loose all day long. I knew, in practice, we was going to have our hands full, and just it's unfortunate. You could draft so big there. He got by me, and I tried him back and got in the wall. But I'm just proud of everybody on this truck, man. I'm telling you, this Holly Chevrolet, these guys worked their butts off today. They deserve to win, and I just didn't get it to them.
When's your next race in the trucks here?
And Kansas, back home. So hopefully we can get one back home.
That's Clint Boyer. He comes home 2nd tonight. Rick.
Thanks. That's just in 2 weeks when we head back to Kansas. After this race, we saw some bad blood once again, and we've seen it before. Hornaday and Sauter mincing words on the racetrack, actually on pit road.
It's a result of what happened on the racetrack.
What they did on the racetrack. Neither happy, neither backing down. Johnny Sauter ended up climbing back in the truck.
Johnny's trying to get a little room there.
Hermie, what's happening?
Well, Ron Hornaday, another top 5 finish. First of all, Johnny Sauter pulled up here on pit road. You guys had some words. What did he have to say?
Yeah, he told me it was a good race, I guess. He thought I was blocking him. I don't know what the heck happened. I mean, he didn't know I was 3 wide. I mean, I missed a shift on the start and going down in through the corner, and Kyle got up on the outside of me and put the other guy up on the outside. We were 3 wide, and he just booted me, and he thought I was blocking him. So, I mean, he's got to be able to see he thought I was blocking him. See, I got loose right there, and I came down, and he just booted me. So, I don't know. You automatically do that, but I got to thank Potato Chips, everybody on this RCR. It's pretty cool. Ream, Armored, Hunt's Brothers Pizza, Kroger, Chevrolet, everybody, and Kevin Delaney. This is what it takes. I mean, this is so cool to come out here and run. And didn't think we were going to have that good of a truck. And if I knew how to adjust it one more time, I mean, I was going to do something in the truck. And I said, we get a top 5 out of here, I'll be happy.
That's another top 5 for Ron Hornaday. Ray, let's go to victory lane.
Here comes Kyle Busch out of this bright green Charged Citrus NOS energy drink. Tundra. How about 8 out of the last 11 races in Camping World Trucks have been won by KBM? And tonight, by winning number 28 of your career, you go into a tie with Mike Skinner and Jack Sprague for 2nd all-time in this series already. Kyle, can you even believe this is real?
Not tonight, I had an angel riding with me there that last run of the race with Zara Baker. I just, we didn't have the truck to beat tonight. The 2 did. And somehow I found some more out of it, and I'm going to say that I had some help tonight. It's weird how things work, but man, when you believe in it and when you trust in it and you have faith in it, it'll repay you. So I can't say enough about NOS Energy Drink, about this team, Kyle Busch Motorsports, all the guys, and from Toyota, M&M's, Flexco, and Dollar General. It's this is a great night for us, and to come out here and with a special name on the side of the truck, means a lot to Kyle Busch Motorsports, all of us, Speedway's Children's Charities, the community here around North Carolina, around Charlotte, around Hickory, and it's fun to come out here and do this kind of stuff.
What were you thinking when you spun out and came down? I know you were saying you thought your truck was still awfully loose and these tires weren't great, but somehow all of a sudden you're back to the front.
Yeah, I mean, well, we spun out and we only lost like 3 or 4 spots, and then we came to pit road, got new tires, and Eric made a bunch of changes. He wholesaled it. I don't know what he did, but he made some great calls there, and got me something that was definitely a lot better. It was drivable, and we were just able to muster our way back up through there. And once we got to second, man, I didn't know if I could run them down, but I had help and got up there, and then I got to them about 3 lengths back, and I stalled out, and I'm like, I got to find something, I got to move around, and found it and got it. So thank Triad Racing Engines, Joe Gibbs Driven Racing Oil, Butler Seats, and Camping World, of course, and of course the fans. It's enjoyable to come out here, and if a Cup guy's going to win it, it might as well be me.
Congratulations, Kyle Busch in victory lane, and guys, the numbers he's putting up are mind-boggling.
Definitely. He talked about Zara Baker riding shotgun with Kyle Busch. He was killed in the Charlotte, North Carolina area just over a year ago, and so she rode shotgun with him. Her class was here. He brought a lot of her classmates to the racetrack tonight, and he thinks she may have given him a little boost at the end of this one. Kyle Busch goes back to victory lane. It's the 4th time in 2011 that he goes to victory lane. There's her name right on the side of the truck. A little kiss for Zara Baker.